We are officially halfway through the 2025 IHSAA football season, and that means only one thing. It's homecoming night right here at Beaver Stadium. Tonight, the Noblesville Millers are back home as they host the Zionsville Eagles in what could be a special evening here on homecoming eve. Hello, friends, and welcome to the broadcast booth. My name is Jordan Kohlmeyer, and tonight's battle will be a turnaround for one of these two programs, as both of them are still looking for the second win of the season. Let's start off with the Noblesville Millers, who have lost their last 3 games and are 0-2 here at Beaver Stadium. Ever since the victory against Mount Vernon in Week 1, these Millers have slipped, and especially in a 41-7 blowout loss versus Indiana's 7th-ranked Westfield Shamrocks. It might be tough. Now let's go to the national anthem. So welcome back to the broadcast booth. Once again, it's Jordan Kohlmeyer. So back at it, let's talk about these last 2 weeks for the Noblesville Millers. We'll start off the Fishers game, the last game we were on the call. It was 42-3 over 3 quarters, and it ended up being 42-17. But in the last 2 games, they've only put up 24 points in the last 3 quarters of each game. And then at the Westfield game, it was 41-0, and they just combined for only 314 yards over the last 2 weeks. So let's talk about the Noblesville defense now, in which they have given up a staggering 83 points of offense against both Fishers and Westfield in the last 2 weeks, like just what I said. But in order for them to get adjusted, they will need to stop Sam Manna, Eli Showalter, and company. Flipping the sidelines, these Zionsville Eagles have also had their struggles. With the same record as Noblesville at 1-3, they had a crushing defeat on the road against the Franklin Central Flashes, losing 20-16. But coming into tonight's game, there's a little bit of history between these two schools. So in their last 5 matchups, the Eagles have had a record of 3-2, with Zionsville winning the last matchup last year. And with a heavy backfield led by, once again, senior Sam Manna and junior Zane Bancart, it could be tough to try to tie 3-3. Well, it is that time of the evening, and Week 5 of IHSAA Football is here and ready. With the Millers in their homecoming spirit, it is a loud one here in Beaver Stadium. Who will get their second win of the season? It's the Zionsville Eagles and the Noblesville Millers here on NHS News. Kickoff next. And welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Again, I'm Jordan Kohlmeyer, and the Noblesville Millers ready to take the field for the 5th time this season. It's going to be quite a pretty good battle between these two foes. Once again, they have a little bit of a history. In 2023, these two teams played in sectionals and during the regular season. It was Zionsville and Noblesville during homecoming, in which Noblesville won that game. And then in sectionals out in Zionsville, Noblesville was able to get the victory there. In 2024, however, Zionsville was able to get the victory. So in the last 5 matchups, once again, 3-2 in favor of Zionsville. But coming out now, Noblesville looking to make it 3-3 in the last 5 seasons. Should be a pretty fun battle here in Noblesville, Indiana. It's homecoming night, and it's a big one for these two schools. Who will get their second win of 2025? Zionsville. It's been a little struggling in the past couple games. Once again, losing to Franklin Central 20-16 last week. And as we saw earlier, their starting quarterback, Brody Kledzik, will be out. He was in a cast. So it will look like Eli Showalter will make the start tonight. And he, this year, 17 for 34, 50% from throwing, and 118 yards, but 2 interceptions. But we'll see how that goes tonight. And now I welcome in my partner, the man himself, Tyler Varvul. This should be a pretty interesting battle tonight between two teams who have been quite rivals in the past couple seasons. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's homecoming, so obviously that adds a little extra. But, I mean, both these teams are 1-3. Nobles has gone up against 2 straight teams in the top 10 in the state. You come off a struggle like that in which you have to face some difficult teams, and they showed. I mean, they were down 41-0 to Westfield. They were down 42-3 to Fishers. They looked outmatched, but now against a team that's much more their size, their stature, about their rank or so, maybe, just maybe they can get something going, and they have a lot more room to breathe today.
And we look at that defense like what you just said. They've given up 83 points in the last 2 games, 41 against Westfield, losing 41-7, and 42-17 against the Fisher Tigers. So what does the defense have to do to try to keep it going today and try to prevent Zionsville from creating more offense, especially with a heavy run game?
I mean, Zionsville definitely has that heavy run game, but what Noblesville has shown is plenty of shines of greatness against the run game especially. I mean, they get their guys to the ground 99% of the time. They have so many more assisted tackles than solo tackles. So they just have a group of guys on them usually, not just one. It's usually 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that'll just get to the football immediately, and they're good at forcing turnovers too. They're doing that at about a national average level.
We look on the field as the captains take the field. For Noblesville, Alex Ham, Praise Oladipupo, Windsor Hutchins, and Caleb Johnson out there. For the Millers, the Zionsville Eagles have won the toss. We'll see what will happen next. We got 12 minutes here in the first quarter. It's going to be a fun battle between these two teams. I'm really excited for it.
I mean, you have to be excited for homecoming period, right? And this crowd is very excited. Let's just see if Noblesville can get off Schneid here.
And out back for Zionsville to kick it away. So Noblesville will receive first. Sam Black will be kicking this ball away. He's 2 for 2 actually on field goals this season. But again, this is the kickoff. And coming out for Noblesville, it's the 2 that have been returning them all season. Cody Prater and Ethan Clark. Well, anyways, this game is about underway. Should be pretty fun to see these two teams come against each other. Who will get their second win of the season, or who will fall to 1-4? Be quite interesting. Zionsville will play HSC next week, and we'll just have to see from there.
I mean, I feel like you're about to be impressed by this Sam Black kid. He was taking some kickoffs in right before we came on broadcast in the warm-ups. I mean, he was going from the 40. He was putting him to the goal line and into the end zone. We'll see. He's 5 yards back. He's probably preventing some of his leg strength here.
Here we go from Beaver Stadium. Kickoff away, returnable for Cody Prater as he takes it from the 3. And Cody Prater tackled immediately at the 20-yard line and bringing out Hebert's offense. And Hutchins and company will start out this game.
Yeah, Gabriel Vinatieri had a really solid tackle there. These Zionsville Eagles are good at getting solid tackles as well. They usually don't let too many points on the scoreboard, but they don't score many of their own. Defense is very much their strength, as they showed on that special teams play. We'll see if they show that on their first drive here.
So this Noblesville team has not been the best while throwing the ball. Last week, 5 for 6 from Hutchins for only 31 yards. Wondering if they're going to go on the ground as they have been all season. In the back is Schinkel, and to the left is Cody Prater. He's guarded by Bryson Meyer. He's going to hand it off to Schinkel. Probably going to lose a yard there. We'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Zionsville has an elite run defense. They showed it there. I assume the Millers are going to pass it more than 6 times today because, as you just saw there, Zionsville has this little bit of a struggle with stopping the pass, but they are really good at stopping the rush.
So substituting out for the Millers is Jordan Webb, the junior, and to the left is Al Wine, and to the right is Prater once again. Hand it off to Schinkel, and he's going to maybe gain nothing actually there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 11, and once again, looking like a slow start for the Millers.
Yeah, I mean, they've tried to run it twice. Maybe they didn't trust the label of Zionsville's run defense. Sometimes, obviously in high school sports more than any, will that kind of fall apart on you. But now Zionsville's showing it. They're going to have to go to the pass here.
Absolutely, and Clark to the right of Hutchins here. Once again, Schinkel in the backfield. On a 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line, motion man is Clark. Hutchins going to throw to the left side. Almost intercepted, but hit immediately. And that is Meyer with the hit. And it's a 3 and out just like that for the Millers.
I mean, they went rush for a loss, rush for 1 yard, incomplete pass. That's just not a way to win football games.
So Noblesville having to punt again. Lytle doing the things he does. He's had 16 punts this season. And in the backfield for Zionsville is Salopka and Hoggs. Oh, hit immediately. I don't know if that's going to generate a flag, and returning it
Don't see
is
one.
Hoggs to the 49-yard line. You wonder if Lytle's going to be okay as he's limping off the field, and will bring up Zionsville's offense.
Student section making their thoughts known.
Booing all around. Not happy with that call. No call. So coming out once again, since their starting quarterback Kledzik is out, Showalter ready to get things started. So on the first play, they're going to pass it, and it's incomplete. Could have been intercepted by Oladipupo. It was intended for their pretty good tight end, Tufnell, who's leading the team in receptions and yards.
Yeah, Priz had that one jumped. He just didn't do it at the right moment. I think if he had another chance at that, he would get that interception. Can't be too mad at yourself, though. Still 2nd and 10.
In the backfield, it looks like Tate Brown, linebacker, is going to hand it off to Brown, and he gets nothing maybe 1 yard there, and looking like Noblesville's defense is trying to gain some confidence ever since last week.
Yeah, that's what I talked about in the pregame, Jordan, is they just gang tackle. They don't do one person. They do 4 people to get the guy down. They make sure there's no chance that runner gets past the line of scrimmage. If they get one guy on him, they'll have 4.
Let's talk more about the tight end who dropped that first down play. Isaac Tufnell, again, he's the leading receptionist and yardage, 11 receptions for 126 yards only. But back at it, 3rd down. Showalter, blitz is coming, almost getting sacked, and not getting him, throwing wide open once again. Tufnell, he's going to take it the distance for the touchdown.
There's a flag. This one might be coming back right at the 30-yard line.
If it is, big positivity for Noblesville. But like what I was saying, Tufnell, who's been pretty solid for Zionsville, could have been huge. I think this is going to stand for the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, they had a couple hands on him there. That was Alex Ham immediately, and he got kind of slammed to the ground by one of the offensive linemen. It was a good, solid block, nothing to do with it. Quarterback got let out, and too many people started to bite on the quarterback rush, and instead he threw it deep. But it looks like they're walking back. This one will not be standing.
Yeah, my apologies on that. I'm pretty sure this will be coming back.
Offensive.
Looks like unsportsmanlike conduct potentially.
It's exactly
so
what it was.
after what could have been a touchdown, once again, I would have been around 50 yards to Tufnell. It's going back for Zionsville.
Yeah, and that one hurts Zionsville. They earned that touchdown. Quarterback really earned that. He got around a couple tackles, wide open tight end, sprinted to the end zone, and then just turned into a wide open guy. They forgot about him, and well, I'm not sure about the movement here. No, they're going to bring out the kicking unit. This is a touchdown.
So after a lot of conversations from the referees and officials, this one will be a touchdown for Zionsville. It will be 50 yards for Tufnell. What a start.
Yeah, it's really big time for them. A team that does not have a good passing offense, and they got stuffed twice in a row. The quarterback there just really found a way to get something done.
Dead ball foul against Zionsville, so it would have counted regardless, as Zionsville is awaiting the extra point.
Yeah, I assume this will mean the kickoff's taken from the 25. And I think the Zionsville kicker can get it there. I think Sam Black has that leg. But now he's got to worry about the extra point.
Looking to make it 3 for 3 on the season. Well, not for extra points. That was field goals. My apologies there. But the extra point is up, and it is drilled. 7-0 already for Zionsville 3 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, both defenses look solid there, but Noblesville's defense just had a bad play. I think if they can watch the quarterback and see, hey, it's 3rd and 11, you got to worry about the yardage. You can't worry about the quarterback taking a 5-yard gain. You have to worry about the tight end 30 yards down the field.
Absolutely. Noblesville looking to go back on the field, trying to go down the field again, trying to get points. It's been a little bit of a struggle this season for the Millers, just trying to get down the field with the offense, trying to connect. Schinkel, again, he is the running back, the starting running back for Noblesville. He's trying to get it going. As this season, he has had 62 carries for 238 yards. Last week, 14 for 32. Wasn't his greatest performance. It was more of a Luke Heil game where he went 13 for 52. But this week, everybody's just trying to get going, and Noblesville's not wanting to go to 1-4.
Yeah, 2 big losing streaks. 1-3 is not fun, and both teams are sitting there. So whoever can get it done today is going to have a big game. And I think both teams have some extra motivation today as well, other than the big losing streaks. I mean, it's homecoming. Noblesville scheduled their homecoming game today, and the Noblesville players are excited about it. They've got a dance to go to tomorrow, and it's going to be really exciting for them. But the Zionsville players, I don't know about you, but to get your homecoming scheduled against your team, I mean, that's got to hurt a little bit. You got to take that personally.
But they're trying to ruin that homecoming game, this homecoming game, And that penalty, by the way, sent Zionsville back, so Sam Black going to have to boot it a little bit farther as Prater and Clark are at the 20.
He takes the same amount of steps back. I wonder if he's just going to swing this with more leg or if this is all he's got.
So kickoff away. It's a pretty big kickoff. Returnable for Cody Prater. Could have went out of bounds, but he's going to take it regardless. And Prater going to get slammed at the 33. Going to bring back up Hutchins in the Noblesville offense again.
Well, I mean, we saw the opening drive script from Noblesville. It did not work out. It was a stuffed run, and an incomplete pass. You got to see what worked, even if it wasn't much. It was just a 3-and-out. But that pass seemed to have a little bit going for it. Maybe they'll go more that direction.
You wonder if they're going to go more past this drive or if they're going to stay with the run game as Schinkel back in the backfield once again.
Yeah, I'd say they have to go more past. I mean, they got 2 rushes for a total of 0 yards. I mean, they got a 1-yard loss and a 1-yard gain. So, of course, you're going to have to find something that worked, even if there wasn't much, and exploit that.
So in the I formation, just going to hand it off to Schinkel to the 35-yard line. A good gain of around 2 there. One of the first positive plays of the game.
Yeah, 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, it's not the number one thing you want, but if that's all you got going for you, I guess you'll take it. See if you can force a bigger play later down the road. Those small gains just take bites out of teams' defense. They hurt them, and even if the defense won.
So fake handoff. Hutchins going to keep it himself and tackled immediately right there from Nate Foster, senior linebacker. So again, it's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 here for Noblesville, as it looked like this may not be going anywhere again. Probably going to have to go pass here.
I mean, this just seems like a repetition of the first drive, right? I mean, it was a short loss of yardage. It was a short gain of yardage, and now you just need a crazed throw on 3rd down to see if you can pull off something.
So it looked like Zionsville is trying to bring the blitz as they have 4 on the line. It's Noblesville once again with Ethan Clark and Schinkel in the backfield. It looks like a false start potentially. My apologies. It will be a timeout called by the Millers.
I mean, 3rd and long to waste a timeout in that situation hurts, but you need a play call. And now that Zionsville showed their hand and that they're blitzing here likely, you got to adjust that play call if you were ready for maybe a deep zone, and instead here comes the blitz.
So let's talk about this Zionsville defense. They're led by senior number 3, Hank Finnessy, who has 19 total tackles this season, as long as number 9 senior Brody Asherman, who has 17 solo tackles and also 22 total. Along with sacks, they have junior Roman Barth with 2.0, and they're just trying to get toward Hutchins, trying to get another 3 and out here.
And Hutchins has to know that he may not have all the time in the world here. Zionsville showed their hand that now they have 1 less linebacker in the box, but you still got to expect that blitz may be coming. They have Hank Finnessy, they're number 3 on the edge, ready to blitz, I think.
So 3 to the left. Hutchins going to take it. Blitz coming, going to throw it to the left. Intercepted! That was intercepted by, guess who? Hank Finnessy. And just like that, it's the 4th interception of the season for Winsor Hutchins, and Zionsville taking over in Miller territory.
Well, that's not at all what I expected Hank Finnessy to do. He looked like he was coming off the edge, ready to blitz, and then what ended up happening is the Millers put Clark in motion, which immediately seemed like a good play. But then look what happened. I mean, Finnessy went from all-out blitz to now he's going to cover a guy, and he ended up in perfect coverage, and now he's giving Zionsville almost field goal range already.
Showalter coming back out on the field. It was intercepted at the 41-yard line, tackled immediately. And the offense still trying to click. Can't there. Motion man is tough now. It's a play action. A little bit of miscommunication. He's just going to throw it away smartly. And not the best play there from the Eagles.
Yeah, it's a heads-up play by Eli Showalter. I mean, he's a senior. He knows what he's doing. So to know to just throw that ball away is smart, and that's maybe not something you expect out of a junior or even a younger senior, but the leader of this team, knows what he's doing.
So on that last drive, what does Noblesville have to do to try to cover? I mean, it's looking like the pass game is working all of a sudden as they are a rush-heavy team.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of went off the script for the first 2 drives, I think. It was the same thing twice, and they've seen terrible results out of it.
Gonna hand it off. Tackled immediately by Alex Ham, one of the captains on this team. A great tackle on Tate Brown.
Yeah, Alex Ham, Jan T. While we're both there, that's that gang tackling I'm talking about. That's going to go down as another assisted tackle. They don't get solo tackles. They do it as a team. They don't do it as one.
So big third down coming up for Zionsville. Once again, last drive they had a third down, and it turned out to a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Noblesville's just got to remember the yardage. It's not a 3rd and 1. You have to blitz to the 3rd and 9. You got to cover the first down marker. You're probably not field goal range. A 57-yard kick.
From the 40, a blitz coming. It's going to throw to the left side, to the 29, a first down. Ben Harney, the wide receiver senior, and keeping the chains moving for the Eagles.
Noblesville ran a zone coverage there. They kind of ran it wide. I mean, they were expecting the pass, but I think what they were expecting was everything to go through the middle and see if they can get an easy drop-off and let the wide receivers do the play. Instead, it was a easy, wide-open man. They just found a hole in the zone and sat there.
Ben Harney last week, only 3 yards on 1 reception, but on the season, 8 receptions for 69 yards. As Showalter, he's got time. He's going to get sacked, and that's Alex Ham again. Incredible.
Yeah, that's a rare solo tackle for the Millers. Ham was in the backfield by himself. It's just a great teamwork play there to have every single offensive lineman block up one defensive lineman and then have the extra guy to just get through the hole.
So it's looking like coming into the field, Zeke Marshall. So it looks like Showalter's out. And Zeke Marshall, sophomore quarterback, who's 5'10", getting here on a 2nd and 13. And a flag on the field, probably going to be false start. Offsides. My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, you saw both line judges throw it at the same time. The back judge didn't even have to converse. He knew what happened. All referees saw it. It was pretty obvious. It was just a question of who moved first, and they decided Noblesville did.
So after the sack by Alex Ham, who's been pretty incredible in this game so far, it's basically a gain of 2. It's Marshall in the backfield. Again, no Showalter on this play. Hitting it off to the right side with a hole, but fumbling the ball, but recovered by Zionsville right at the 20-yard line.
That is the absolute spectacular play that does not go in the box score there. That was number 6, Micah Morris, wide receiver, was picking up a block for the run play. He sees that ball shoot out, and he immediately is the first person to dive on it. And if he's not the first person to dive on it, he was surrounded by 4 or 5 Millers.
And there was that's what you were saying, around 5 Millers were right there to recover the fumble for the turnover. Micah Morris saving the day for Zionsville's drive as they're at the 19 on around 3rd and inches here. And once again, Showalter back in the field, handing it off to the running back, Spencer Coy. He's going to get the first down.
Yeah, I mean, he only needed maybe a foot, 2 feet. He got the yard he needed. Didn't do much. It was just enough.
That fumble opportunity for Noblesville could be a crusher on this drive as they're already in the red zone, looking to try to make it 14-0.
The defensive line play so far for the Millers, it's been Tiwa and obviously Alex Ham. We've said his name 100 times. He got a sack. He has TFLs. I believe he forced that fumble. Really good game for him so far. See if the rest of the defensive line can pick him up.
Zionsville will call their first timeout of the half, trying to get things focused on looking to get another touchdown on the field. And this may be a timeout that Noblesville needs for a breather. We will be right back after this timeout.
As we welcome you back, I mean, Zionsville's been dominant on this drive. It's been a combination of run and pass. When Noblesville gets the pass against them, they're not ready for it.
You hand it off to Coy again. He's speedy out there, getting to the 10-yard line. That sophomore looking pretty good on his first 2 handoffs.
Really good acceleration. I mean, he's not the biggest kid out there, nor is he even close, but the ability for him to accelerate quickly and be agile through the holes is quite impressive.
So the other tight end we haven't talked about tonight is C.O. Scott, who has also been pretty good with receptions, 6 for 94, averaging 31 a game, as a pass to the end zone, and incomplete, almost caught on the right side. It would have been an incredible catch from Micah Morris, the man who recovered the fumble.
Yeah, Marcus Burns had a great defensive play there. He just made sure that the wide receiver could not get anywhere near that football, and if he was going to have to make the catch, he was going to have to be one of the better catches we've seen in a long time.
It's coming out for Zionsville Hogs and shot. My apologies, it was shot. So in the I formation, look on that left side. It's Marcus Burns trying to get a defensive stop and a false start, potentially against the Eagles.
Seems like they're moving back. That's what it's going to be. That's what it is.
A little bit more breathing room for Noblesville, trying to get a 3rd down stop.
Well, now it's 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 2, and Zionsville's converted on 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 11. The issue with the Millers is they are watching the short yardage gains when they need to be watching behind the 1st down marker or right in front of it. They're watching for those 3-yard gains and allowing the 9-yard gains to be wide open for first.
So on a 3rd and 7 from the 14. Blitz coming, hit immediately, intercepted from Noblesville. An incredible play by Evan Nichols, the senior, and Noblesville taking over.
Eli Showalter is a bit knocked up on that play. He got absolutely drilled, and that's exactly why that throw is short. He had an out route in the end zone that could have easily been made for a touchdown, but instead it was just directly, and I mean directly to Evan Nichols, who was just playing his outside linebacker position perfectly. They had a zone coverage on, and they had man coverage on the deep routes, and what it turned into was more of, can I catch this ball, than can I jump up and stop it. It's right to his chest.
Evan Nichols with his second, or the team's second interception of this season. Their first came against Homestead in that Week 2 battle from DJ Collier at the end of the half. Motion man is Prater. Going to hand it off to Luke Heil with a pretty good gain there, something Noblesville needs to see.
Yeah, Luke Heil usually is a short yardage type of guy. He's only going for 1 or 2. He found a hole there, and he exposed it quite quickly, got somewhere in the range of 6 or maybe 7 yards there.
Nick Morris coming out of the game for Noblesville. Going to bring out 2 to the right. Clark and Prater, and Outline to the left. In the backfield is Heil. Handing it off to Clark, and Ethan Clark has a hole. Could have had more, but a 1st down nonetheless to the 21-yard line. You like to see that from the sophomore running back.
Yeah, Bryce Mayer had an absolute saving tackle. He just reached out for dear life and found a shoulder pad of Ethan Clark. And I think if he didn't do that, it was just off to the races. Could Ethan Clark be fast enough to go the whole distance without being caught?
So under 3 minutes left here in this first quarter. It's felt a little slow. Once again, getting back to the run game and tackled right immediately with a loss of 1 was Luke Heil. Going to bring up a 2nd and 11.
Heil has been doing that a lot this year. He's been going short yardage. He hasn't been getting many holes like Shinkle and Clark has.
Haven't seen a lot of Shinkle on this drive. It's been more Heil and Clark. Clark's playing that wide receiver play in that slot.
Zionsville's watching run. I mean, they have 7 in the box and more to blitz.
No run again, and Heil is going to get decked immediately with a loss of one there. And the tackle made for Zionsville by Kellen Riddle.
I mean, it's third and a long way to go, about a dozen yards. And I think if the Millers want to keep this drive going, they're going to have to obviously complete a pass. They're going to have to trick Zionsville in some way or another. Obviously, every single person in this building is expecting pass. So how do you trick Zionsville with something they're expecting?
So Hutchins with the snap. A blitz coming, going to throw the screen to Heil, and Heil has a lane. Luke Heil going to get tackled just short at the 30-yard line, and it's decision time for Coach Hebert.
Yeah, maybe a yard short. Earlier in the season, like against Homestead, this would be an obvious decision. You just bring out Ty Holmes, praise Pupo, and run it up the gut, see what you have. Now you're 2 feet short. You don't have that play. So now they've gone tight end in the – no, they're going to do something special here. So they've gone Schenkel in the backfield instead of Holmes, but everything else is the same. Pupo, he's out there. Kincaid, he's out there. Those are both defensive players. 2 wide, but this, if Zionsville has done...
It looked like Schenkel was going to take that snap, kind of like what Ty Holmes did in that game against Homestead. But a timeout by Zionsville is going to make more decision times for each team.
Yeah, Zionsville called that timeout because they had 13 on the field. They had 2 punt returners really, really deep, and they did not know what was happening. They just assumed it was punt play. And when they realized, hey, it's not a punt play, Shingle's right about ready to snap this football, and they're running as fast as they can off the field. Zionsville's not trying to risk it, and they're just going to take the timeout.
A little bit of miscommunication from the Eagles. So Noblesville trying to get a yard, try to get down the field, trying to do what they got to do as Zionsville comes back down the field.
Yeah, and I mean, Zionsville has wasted 2 timeouts already this quarter in the first quarter, which you never want to even take more than 1 timeout in the first quarter, and they've wasted 2 of them on terrible miscommunication. Is that going to be their downfall? We don't know.
So they're going to snap it immediately after
he got
the
there.
timeout, and
he
may have gotten it. He may have not. It's going to be a call from the officials.
Officials have no call yet. This is really close. They put it on the line. I believe this is going to be first down. Yeah, it is.
And it is a first down for the Millers. That's one of the bigger plays this season on 4th down. They haven't really got a lot of them. In that Homestead game, they got stopped a good amount. They get this one. They get the yard, keeping the drive moving with under a minute left in the first quarter as it keeps on moving.
Yeah, and I mean, those Noblesville guys were hyped. They earned that first down through a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and they had a lot to celebrate about on the sideline.
Schenkel in the backfield, and it's a play action. Hutchins is hesitating. He's just going to have to take the sack, the heavy sack by Brady Jung.
That was a design play to go straight to sophomore tight end Danny Hamer. It wasn't there. Now Hutchins is fine. It looked like he was grabbing his helmet like he was going to take it off and run off the field there. But Hutchins, he had one read there. It was straight to Danny Hamer on the screen pass. He was covered, so Hutchins tried to change it to literally anything he could find. He couldn't find anything, and he just had to eat a huge hit from Nate Foster.
And that will take us to the end of quarter 1, where the Zionsville Eagles are up 7-0 in what was an impressive first drive from Showalter and Tufnell. And it's 2nd and 12 coming up for Noblesville next. We'll be back here at Beaver Stadium. And welcome back to the broadcast booth, and welcome back to Beaver Stadium. Once again, Jordan Kohlmeyer alongside the man himself, Tyler Varvel, as Noblesville trying to get moving from the 29 on a 2nd and 12. Hutchins in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Clark. He's hit immediately And that was for Zionsville, Noah Alt, who's been a big factor on this defense for the Eagles.
Yeah, it was another gang tackle there. I mean, Ethan Clark is not a big guy, and they had the duo of Peter Mahanan and Noah Alt there just to get him immediately. I mean, Zionsville was ready for that. They had the deep safety who was covering nobody. They were ready for a run to the outside. They seemed to read the play perfectly, and that's good on Zionsville. They probably did a lot of studying before the ball game.
So on a 3rd and 16 after the loss of 4 and a miscommunication, but going to throw in a beautiful pass. It's caught by Alwine, the sophomore, and a big play for the first down for the Millers.
See, that's what the Millers need to do more of, right? They're doing 2/3, 3/4 their plays are run plays. They just have to find the place to pass the ball. Zionsville knew a pass was coming. It was just a little bit of blown coverage. Maybe if they pass the ball once or twice on a play where Zionsville just expects the run to come, hit a play action or two, they could break off some big plays.
Gain of around 20 for Alwine, a big play for the sophomore. Noblesville looking to move into Zionsville territory on this 1st and 10. Clark in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Clark, but hit immediately by Noah Alt again. He's making some damage here for the Zionsville defense.
Yeah, Alt's living in the backfield so far today, and that's to no fault of his own. That's to the fault of the Millers, who are just constantly running the football on 1st and 2nd down, expecting it to work, and it's just really not. They've had one rush play of more than 5 yards so far.
And the run game hasn't been working, but that pass play built a little bit of confidence for Hutchins, again, through that interception earlier in the game. We're going to keep it moving for Noblesville as it brings up a 2nd and 11, a loss of 1 for Clark. And again, Noah Alt making a big difference. But once again, going to hand it off and tackled immediately again. It's Zaid Bankert. He's a junior. He's a running back, but making the tackle in a big play.
Yeah, it's 1st down rush, 2nd down rush. They've done that pretty much every single set of downs they've had. And now, look, nothing changed. It's a 3rd and a long, where they're probably going to have to punt unless they pull out some big pass play.
And maybe you connect with Prater. The Prater and Hutchins connection looked really good in the first couple games. Or you go Alwine again. Schinkel in the backfield and Clark again out there right next to Prater. So we look at this bottom matchup. Prater against Jackson Outset. Apologize if I said that wrong. Hutchins going to throw to Moody immediately, but he's going to get hit to around the 48-yard line by Hank Finnessy.
It was a respectable gain there. I just mean 3rd and 13, you can't go a screen pass and expect it to work. That's just poor play calling. You can't go rush, screen pass on a 3rd and 13 and expect it to work out when you've done that every single drive. You have to mix it up a little bit more, and if the Millers aren't going to do that, they're going to keep the 0 on the scoreboard. So
an optimistic start after the 20-yard completion to Alwine. It's going to bring up a punt for Lytle. So bringing it at all. Almost gets hit immediately. It's a short punt. Non-returnable. This is going to go and bounce to around the 23-yard line. And we'll show out. And the Zionsville Eagles will show out with Showalter once again. So as the Zionsville offense getting ready to come back out on the field with around 8:40 remaining here in this first half, what does Noblesville have to do to stop them, trying to keep it 7-0, and then the offense getting on the field, trying to generate some points?
I mean, their defense has played spectacular so far. They've had one big play that went for 50 yards, and outside of that, it's been stop. They forced a fumble. They have the interception. So they forced Zionsville to lose the ball twice. It's just one big 50-yard play away from this game still being 0-0.
So Showalter, he's going to scramble. He's got a big lane, but he's going to throw wide open. It's complete. It is caught by Micah Morris into Noblesville territory. The defense just let that one go.
That's how they gave up that big touchdown flag at the 25. This one is going to be coming back. There's a pair of them. But, I mean, that's how they gave up that big 50-yard touchdown is Showalter started to roll out, and then their corners who are on a man start worrying about Showalter, forget about their own man, and then boom, there's a wide open guy downfield. And DJ Collier is not the guy to do that. He's a really smart football player, but that just ended up slipping out. He was so worried about Showalter that he forgot he was covering a man.
And it was a spectacular throw by Showalter, but he went over the line of scrimmage, which basically means that Zionsville is coming back. So on a 2nd and 10, basically no gain there for Zionsville from around the 19. My apologies, 2nd and 15. Scoreboard did not generate. But from the 19-yard line, will Showalter do to try to gain it back? Motion man is Tufnell. Just going to hand it off, and that's a speedy Spencer Coy again, but getting around one there.
And look who it was again, man. It's Alex Ham. He's living in that Zionsville backfield. He has a sack. He has TFLs. He was the guy who forced that interception with the big hit. My goodness, that's like the 7th time we said his name today.
Absolutely, and for the defense for Noblesville and in general, he might be just a player of the game.
I mean, he looks like it so far, man.
But a 3rd and 14 under 8 minutes here in the first half. Showalter, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Showalter bringing a huge blitz, throwing a screen, incomplete for Zionsville, and a huge hole. He may take it the distance, and Marcus Burns with a clutch tackle and getting that yardage back into Noblesville territory. It was Micah Morris once again.
I don't think Noblesville's defense did anything truly wrong there. It was a screen pass. They had maybe 3 blitz the quarterback. That might have been their downfalls. They didn't notice it was a screen pass. They thought they had a free sack. And instead, all 5 of Zionsville's offensive linemen, who are not easy to get around, by the way, were just right in front of the screen pass, opening up a huge lane. And when it's a 5 versus 2, you're not going to have a good result.
So handoff to Coy again, and Coy powering his way for 4 yards to the 41-yard line. He's kind of made a name today for himself.
Yeah, he's a little guy, too, and he's young. But what he's doing so far is just finding those holes with his such good acceleration and agility, able to break a tackle, able to get past a guy and turn what might be a loss into a solid game.
And again, injuries for Zionsville today without their starting quarterback and starting running back, Sam Manna, who has been one of the best running backs, arguably, in HTC. Manna, has had 47 carries for a whopping 341 yards. But without him today, it's more of the backups and a play action for Showalter. He's going to throw, but incomplete. It was a little too wide for Max Metzler.
So Burns had the guy there as the safety. He was the guy meant to cover. But then what Zionsville did is they do a little bit of a zone beater where they put 2 of the guys, one on an out route and one on a wheel route. So they will, if you don't understand that, they will just cross each other, and it confuses Noblesville's defense as to keep it on one guy and leave the other guy wide open. The throw just wasn't there.
So big time 3rd down coming up for Zionsville. A play action, a blitz coming. He's going to get away from it. He's going to throw, and it's incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Burns. It'll be 4th down, and this could be a decision time for the Eagles.
That hit Marcus Burns' hands. It should have been picked. Then it hit Liam Salapka's hands. It should have been caught. I guess all that's well ends well. It just calmly hits the ground.
From the 41, and it's a 4th and 6 in Noblesville territory. It's kind of like they want to go for this, and it looks like they will. So 3 to the left for Zionsville in the I formation. For Showalter, motion man. It's tough. No, a low snap. The blitz coming, and it is blocked away. Incredible defense from Noblesville. Marcus Burns again.
Marcus Burns got targeted 3 times on the last 3 plays. First play, he may have made a little mistake, but he got bailed out by a terrible throw. Second play, should have had an interception, turned into a great deflection, and it kept getting better. 2 straight passes defended, including the 4th down stop. That's big time.
Noblesville's coming back out on the field. Again, what do they have to do? Like, do they get away from run, pass? We'll have to see here.
I mean, I think they have to, right? Zionsville's just expecting it. If they could just run a play action here or a normal throw there, that'll be really beneficial.
Going to hand it off awkwardly, but it's Ethan Clark to the 5. Looked like a little bit of an awkward play, but it gave out to Clark.
It turned into a bit of an RPO, a bit of an option play. It was a triple option, I believe, where he could have handed it off to the guy behind him, who was Schinkel. He could have kept it himself. Windsor could have. or he could have given it to the jet sweep, which was Ethan Clark. He decided to go for the sweep. Clark found a hole on the inside. He just exposed it. I expected him to get more there, but nothing bad about a 5-yard gain on first down.
Halfway through this second quarter, a 2nd and 5. It's going to be Schinkel, but Schinkel is going to get tackled right away around the line of scrimmage. And that was a tackle from Austin Oakley.
That tackle looked really awkward there. Schinkel's gotten up like nothing happened. Good enough for him, but he kind of got bent over there where both his feet and his head were touching the ground. It was just a Zionsville defender in between it. Luckily, he does seem to be all right, though.
In the same place they have been all game, a 3rd and medium, a 3rd and 5. Zionsville is showing 4 coming at him. He's going to throw. It is incomplete. Could have been intercepted from Hank Finnessy, who's been a big name, especially early with the interception.
Yeah, Hank Finnessy could have really earned himself a 2nd interception there, but instead he'll earn the punt unit coming out and give his offense the ball back. Alwine had a chance to catch that ball, though you can't expect that out of the sophomore. You can't expect that out of anybody.
Trying to thread the needle there. Almost caught it, but will come out as a punt for Noblesville. And Caden Lytle, once again, back out there in the return man for Zionsville, Liam Salapka, and Nick Hoggs. So the punt away. Almost gets hit again. It's Hoggs returning it for Zionsville, escaping a tackle, trying to escape more. And Nick Hoggs going to the 25-yard line and nothing else. So going around the field, but not gaining a lot of yardage.
Yeah, I thought Hoggs might have a chance to take that a long, long way, but Liam Salapka, the other guy coming to return the ball, got in his way. He broke through some tackles. He sent some guys running the other way. But what turned out to be his downfall was his own man getting in the way.
And for Zionsville, after that first drive, it's kind of looked a little ugly for them on offense. They had those big plays, but a 4th and 6, they didn't convert it. So they're back on the field from the 24-yard line, from the 19-yard line. Showalter back out there. It's going to hand it off to the left side and trying to break a tackle. He does break 2 and getting to the 25-yard line. Tate Brown, he's been something pretty good today.
Yeah, and as you can see in the broadcast there, we had a really good angle of that. Tate Brown just ate a couple hits there. It turned into what should have been a certain loss of yardage, but Brown did not let that happen. Instead, ate some hits and spun off, got almost half the distance to the first down marker.
And a gain of 6 from Brown. And from the left hash, Noblesville looking like they could potentially bring a blitz. No, they will bring 4. Going to throw immediately. It's caught and gaining a first down to the 38-yard line. That is Ben Harney once again.
Yeah, we said Ben Harney's name a couple times. He's a big, big guy. He's 6'3", over 200 pounds. And he's just found himself open. He's not the most agile type of guy. He's not the fastest. But what he can do is he can get around you. And when he gets around you, he can take your hit.
Gain of 12 for Zionsville. He's had a pretty good game, Harney. Once again, going to throw. And Ham trying to get to him. And a flag out on the field. The Showalter is going to take it himself. Trying to get around half that yardage. But we'll see what this flag is about.
Yeah, Showalter had a great rush there, but I got a feeling it's going to be an offensive holding. So this one is coming back. Showalter showed some really good signs there if he wants to keep on rushing the ball.
So the penalty hurting Zionsville. Going to bring them 10 back. And with under 4 minutes remaining here in this first half, what is Noblesville? Once again, their defense has been playing pretty stellar today. Can they try to force another turnover, trying to get themselves, their offense, into Zionsville's territory? What do they have to do?
Well, I mean, we've seen the two offenses ever since, actually the entire game, because Zionsville's touchdown was from midfield. The entire game we've seen one red zone drive, which turned into an interception. And even that one red zone drive was aided by a penalty or two, and it was aided by one big play here and one penalty there. Noblesville and Zionsville's defense have been pretty stellar so far. I don't think they have to change anything. They just got to rely on their offenses to be better.
Tate Brown once again back out there. He's going to get the handoff, and Brown is going to get tackled, wrapped up immediately for Noblesville. That is for Noblesville, Xavier Bond with the tackle.
Yeah, it was just gang tackle again. Wyatt Huffman, Xavier Bond, assisted tackles, man. We really hit that on the nose in the pregame.
Now 2nd and 17 for Zionsville. It's a time slowly ticking away from the 31, trying to make some action happen, trying to get down the field, make it a 2-score game going into halftime. And they get the ball as well for the second half. Showalter is going to throw the screen complete to the right side, to the left side, and to the 40. Getting that penalty yardage back is Ben Harney once more.
Yeah, Ben Harney, again, big guy. He had some more big guys in front of him getting blocks, and he can eat hits. But the one thing that can stop him really well are those shoelace tackles. If he can't eat it, then he's just going to probably have to go down to it. And once he starts going, that 200 pounds of momentum is not going to be easy to stop either.
Absolutely. We're nearing 2 minutes. Trying to get the discussion going for Zionsville. It's a 3rd down. Student section trying to get him hyped. 7 yards, trying to hit the 48. Showalter, a blitz coming. Caleb Johnson almost getting to him. Going to throw it to the left side. A completion, a perfect pass. It's Harney again, his 4th reception of the game. This is a beautiful play by Showalter.
What a catch from Ben Harney. I mean, it was not that great of a throw. He led him a little bit too far. Harney just reached his hands out, and good thing he's got those 6'3" big hands. I mean, that was really impressive stuff to just reach his hands out there and stop the football. Most receivers, especially at this level, cannot be doing that.
Gotta say, he threw that over a couple Millers. And from the 36, once again, Zionsville is in Miller territory. And hand it off. And to around the 33-yard line, it's Tate Brown.
It looked like Brown may have lost that football at the end of the play, but Brown was smart enough just to hold on to it himself. That might have very well been because of the contact with the ground anyway. But doesn't much affect this drive other than a little bit of a hiccup that might be talked about during film review.
Been a pretty heavy run game. They're going to go to the pass. He's going to take a shot to the end zone, but too high for Harney again. And what could have been 13-0.
Harney had a step on his man, who was Marcus Burns, who's usually a safety in zone coverage. So to put him on man coverage, especially with the large height difference, is a surprising play call. It should have very well been a touchdown. It was just a terrible throw. A couple yards over his head. A little bit better of a throw, and it's a 14-0 game.
So Noblesville trying to get a stop here on 3rd and 7. Gonna need it. Could be a 50-yarder if they want to attempt it, but throwing to the right side and too far. Intended target, Jackson Adsel.
Yeah, that was just a pair of bad throws. And I think if they bring Black out here, he definitely has the ability for a 50-yard field goal. I was watching him in pregame warm-ups today. He missed a 50-yard field goal in pregame warm-ups. It was short by maybe not even a yard. The kicking coach caught it on the turf behind the end zone. So I think if he gets a little bit more behind it, he can make this. But it doesn't seem like this will be kicked. It seems like this will be thrown.
So they will not kick it. It's a 4th down. And Showalter, once again, going to take his target, but too high and deflected. Is that Marcus Burns once again? It was Marcus Burns. That's been pretty sensational in this game. He might be one of the second better players in this game.
And I tell you what else.
Alex Ham.
Burns has a couple of deflections that I think he has the one that should have been picked, but he has 4 pass deflections, which how often do you hear that? And even more, that guy's 5'9". He's not like he's some 6'5" massive guy in the back of the secondary waiting to swat down everything. He's just getting plenty of action today. I guess they decided to go after him. If you're going to have to make a halftime adjustment, that's going to be it.
2 drives for Zionsville going into Noblesville territory in 2 drives, turning into turnover on downs. Motion man Nick Morris
Two
going to the
timeouts
left
in
side.
70 seconds. There's a chance here.
With 70 seconds remaining here in the half. So he's got time. He's going to take the shot, but overthrown. Intended for Alwine. Could have been, if he placed that, a touchdown.
That was really close to being something really special. I mean, the fact that Alwine had multiple steps on his man as a sophomore and him being up in that 6'4", 6'5" kind of range should have made that a lot easier for Hutchins, but it's really easy to say it's going to be easy from the press box when it's a 40-yard throw. I don't have that type of arm.
I don't either, I will say. But the 6'5" sophomore, pretty big dude and quite a great player. He's had quite a good game with that one catch. But back at it in the I formation for Hutchins, trying to make some more magic happen. And 3 to the right side. And bringing 4, Hutchins, a blitz coming, going to throw. It's too high. It's his second interception of the game. Taking it
Flag, this one be
all
coming
the
back.
way to around the 25-yard line.
Flag on the 31, 32-yard line. Let's see what the refs say. I assume this will be a defensive flag. This will not go down as an interception in the books.
But if it is an interception, it's John Anders, and it could very well be, and it will be standing an interception 2 on the day for Winsor Hutchins, and not the best throw you want to see for Noblesville.
Yeah, it's an offensive penalty. This will be declined, and the return as well. I mean, he got that inside the 30, so to say this is field goal range, I don't know for sure yet, but he's not even a first down away from it. Definitely being field goal range, something you expect a high school kicker to make. This could very easily be 10, maybe even 14-0. There's still 53 seconds left in the first half.
It's been quite a good half for the sophomores on Zionsville. With the running back Coy back out there, and then Anders with the interception. And now, once again, in Noblesville territory, with 53 seconds left, they can try to make work happen here in the I formation for Showalter. Showalter is going to throw. He's got time. Looking to throw it. Could
Flag.
be holding. He's just going to throw it away, and this may be coming back for Zionsville.
Yeah, offensive holding, so all that's going to be is a dead play. It's going to stay first down. But now you lost 6 seconds, and you're out of field goal range. This went from a 43-yard kick, which maybe you don't expect a high school kicker to make, but definitely doable. 53 yards, you can't expect that, and you don't think that's doable unless you're really special.
But it will become a 1st and 20 due to the holding. So it's still first down, but losing 6 seconds really hurts if you're the Eagles. It would really be a hard field goal for sure.
Yeah, I think at this point, 47 seconds, you still have chances to pass the football, and I'm not on the coach's sideline with all this pressure. But I think if you can just lock in your chance at 3 points and not just make this a crazed field goal try, instead make this a good opportunity to put 3 points on the board, this will be solid.
Showalter with time, and Showalter, it's going to get tackled immediately, and guess who that is again? I think that might be his second sack of the game. It is Alex Ham.
That's going to go down as a tackle, I believe. It looks like he was about a foot past the line. That's just going to go down as a tackle, but that should be known as more than a tackle. That was basically a sack, and Ham stopped Showalter from getting a lot more than just a foot. He stopped it from a lot of green turf in front of him, maybe 5, 10, 15 yards.
And now it gets really interesting for Zionsville with 35 seconds remaining. They have no timeouts. They just called their third and final timeout of the first half. And in high school, they stop the time. They do once to get a first down, but we'll see how it goes for Zionsville.
35 seconds flat. It's 2nd and 20. So I think if it's a 53-yard field goal, you at this point, you have 2 options. You can either be calm and say, hey, we'll be fine with taking our 2-score lead. We'll be fine with our 3 points. Let's run the football. Or you can say, hey, why not try for the end zone? There's no reason not to. We have enough time, and we have the timeout if we don't get there. On 2nd and 20, you have those 2 options. It'll be interesting to see what the Eagles go with. If I had to assume, I don't know if a backup quarterback has that 50-yard arm.
And Showalter, again, could be gutsy with an interception already to Evan Nichols. But on a 2nd and 20, they will throw, and Showalter is going to take that shot wide open, complete out of bounds for Zionsville. Max Metler. And it's just more gainage for Zionsville.
Stayed in bounds 30 seconds flat, and now they've gone from way out of field goal range and 20 yards from the first down marker to now they just 5 yards away from the first down marker, maybe 6. But now your field goal is under 40 yards. If you don't make this, questions will be raised.
Felt like quite a long 15 yards. I almost thought that was a first down from my angle. But now a 3rd and 5. It's a big opportunity for Noblesville to get the stop, but wide open, complete, and breaking a tackle to the 10. 1st and goal for Zionsville. And that is Micah Morse.
First down they got. It'll be interesting to see if the referees called him inbounds or out of bounds. 22 seconds left. 21.8, so 21 on our scoring, excuse me.
And
Easy field goal range, sub 30 yards. If you can put it in the end zone, which you obviously outshot, I would go for it. You're 9 yards away. The interesting decision now is how many shots you take in the end zone before being okay with the field goal.
You can't stop the time unless you go to bounds. Showalter is going to throw to the right side, and he may stay in bounds. He will. It's going to be decision time now for Zionsville. The time will not stop, and it's pressure time. They might have to spike it here.
Sub 10 seconds. They're going as fast as they can. This will probably just be a field goal as soon as they spike this ball.
And they do spike it immediately with 4 seconds left, so could have been 6 potentially, but taking 16 seconds off the time really hurts. And now we'll bring up the field goal unit to try to make it 10-0 going into the second half.
Yeah, nothing more than chip shot here. This is just going to be a 21-yard field goal they're going to set it up at. Basically an extra point just off the hash mark. So I think this should be quite simple to go up 10-0. The painful thing for Zionsville on the sideline is obviously it could very easily be 14-0, but instead 10 should be fine. Got some coaches sprinting to the sideline. I don't think we have a communication here.
Sam Black ready for the kick, going to kick it away. It is drilled. They're going to take it to half. It's 10-0 Zionsville. What are your first half thoughts from Noblesville?
Well, I mean, we've seen 2 red zone drives entirely the entire game. The issue is neither of them are Noblesville's. They're both Zionsville's. Even if Zionsville's only got 10 points, Noblesville's got 0. And the issue is not, hey, Zionsville's offense is cooking us. They're not. We're dominating them, only giving up 10 points. It's just Zionsville's defense is not budging, and we are staying so overly consistent with run, pass. You have to mix it up every once in a while.
And we'll take it to the homecoming halftime, where there'll be special presentations of the 25-year team, the 50-year team, Hoco Court, and Grand Marshals, the 2025 Butch Robbins Award. We'll be back in a couple moments. We'll see you guys then here from Beaver Stadium.
and a tenacious, hard-hitting defense. Leading the charge was an extraordinary Noblesville Millers. Congratulations and welcome back to homecoming. escorted by Grant Warnock. Kate Billis, escorted by Kristen and Mark Billis. The winners in the category of always willing to lend an open hand are Holly Mellinger, escorted by Megan Mellinger, and Reese Resmer, escorted by Bill and Nikki Fisher. And finally, the winners for Miller Mentality are Alex Everhart, escorted by Delaney Stone, and Allie Thompson, escorted by Brady McDonald. Fans have a great hand for our 2025 Noblesville High School homecoming court. Congratulations and thank you for serving. Ladies and gentlemen, from the room, please direct your attention to the 50-yard line and join Noblesville High School Homecoming Committee Chair Melissa DeLong Cox and Noblesville High School honoring Butch Rollins as the 2025 Homecoming Grand Marshal. This is one of those occasions tonight where a great friend of mine and a great friend of IHS, Butch Robbins, is honored as our 2025 Grand Marshal. Butch has served Noblesville schools for almost 40 years. He began his teaching career at IHS in 1986, teaching government, journalism, and basic law for 34 years. Alongside his time in the classroom, Butch spent 18 years as a yearbook advisor and 10 years as a newspaper advisor. Nearly 4 decades later, IHS remains the only school that Butch has taught at in America. Butch has been the recipient of many accolades through the years. In 1998, he was honored as Indiana Journalism Teacher of the Year, an avid supporter of extracurriculars and creating meaningful community relationships. You'll also find Butch attending performances and athletic events in the community. At the celebration of Noblesville School's 150 years in 2020, Butch was honored as one of 25 Noble Millers. And in 2023, Butch was the recipient and Zionsville Millers. Our silver level middle backer sponsors are Beaver Electric, Greeks Pizzeria of Noblesville, Indiana Members Credit Union, Indiana Restoration, King Sarah Ford Real Estate Group. And our bronze level sponsors, IHSAA Real Estate, Confident Exteriors, IHSAA Composites, Noblesville Masonic Lodge, and Noblesville Ace Hardware. Thank you guys so much for your help and support, and go Millers. Also, we will squeeze in our Noblesville Football corporate sponsors. Thank you for backing the Miller football program. Black level sponsors, Fred's Garage and Kroger. Silver level sponsors, Shoes and BFNS Civil Engineers. Our bronze level sponsors are Align Orthodontics, Anderson Construction Group, Canes, Dr. Rivera Corey, Mover Family Chiropractic, SM Counseling, TC Electric, Youth Opportunity Investment, Mr. Realtor, and Meyer. And our loyal partners for the football program, Chick-fil-A, Druckers, Mid-America Technology, Perfect Family Eye Care, and Greeks Pizzeria. Let's go for our 2025 Miller football sponsors.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the broadcast booth. My name is Jordan Kohlmeyer, and alongside me is Tyler Varvel. Today, it has been quite interesting for Noblesville. No points once again through one half, while Zionsville with 10 after a field goal to end the half. What does Noblesville have to do? They're going to play defense first off in the second half. Can they get that turnover, that second turnover, and then after that, what do they have to do to get back on offense and play good?
I mean, their defense has been strong. They've given up 2 red zone drives to a total of 3 points, a field goal and interception, 0% red zone success for Zionsville. Very impressive stuff from the Noblesville defense. The reason why Noblesville's down in this game is not really at any point due to their defense. Even their defense has done well on the offensive side. That fourth down where Kincaid and Oladipupo came out and got it done, got the first down by maybe an inch. Got enough, though. The cold spot has been the offense, and I think that's been true for most of the year, unfortunately. Windsor Hutchins has 2 interceptions. Luke Heil hasn't gone for more than 5 yards, give 1 time. He hasn't gone for more than 2. Even Schinkel, who's usually the guy to break off the big plays, hasn't done much. Clark in the screen pass has done basically nothing. The issue is not at any point the defense. The issue is the offense putting up a total of 0 points. They've crossed midfield once, and that's kind of their biggest concern. They better change something in the first half.
So let's look at Zionsville now. We're going to talk about their offense. No, it's been a big game from Micah Morris. It's been a big game from Ben Harney. Obviously, the touchdown from Isaac Tufnell, and it's been pretty good. They haven't been able to hit the end zone really, other than that one play. They've been able to go down the field. They haven't touched the touchdown zone yet, but what do they have to do to keep on going on offense?
Well, I mean, what they saw on that last drive, they got it from the other 40-yard line, which was huge for them. But the other thing was they finally put together a drive where it wasn't hoping for one big play, hoping for one broken play to go the right way. They finally put together a drive where it's 4 yards here, a completion there, and a nice run play over more. And it's just, if they want to run away with this game, which they're currently not even close to doing, they have a chance for a 2-for-1, which if they can capitalize on is huge. But the biggest thing is they have to put together good short, medium distance plays instead of hoping for one ginormous play to do it for them.
So let's talk about the Noblesville offense and their running backs. It hasn't been the best game for the running backs. Ethan Clark has had a 5-yard gain here and there. Schinkel, same thing. What do they have to do? What does the rushing team have to do to get back in rhythm? Because that's been the flaw today.
I think the running backs aren't doing anything wrong. They're doing the plays assigned to them, and Zionsville's defense is top-notch. Not much you can do about that. But what you can do as a coach is change up the play call a little bit. It's been mostly run on first, run on second, pass on third if you get there. Maybe if it's short down and distance, you run on third as well. It's just becoming so predictable. The coaches have to make it less predictable in the second half. And I think they're this close to breaking off a big play. You've seen they are one shoelace tackle away from breaking off huge plays, or one missed block, or one defender being in the right spot. They're just such a small distance away from a huge play, changing the momentum in this game. And I mean, it's just no issue with what the offense is doing. They're playing the plays executed to him. Winter Hutchins, maybe he isn't having the best decision-making, but you can't expect a high school junior to do everything right. I think what you have to expect is the coaching staff to switch something up and don't be so consistent. You got to confuse the defense a little bit.
And finally, let's talk about Winter Hutchins. It's been a little bit of a quiet game from him. He had that big 20-yard play to Alfred Alwine in around the second quarter, but other than that, again, it's been kind of slow from him. 2 interceptions, of course. Does he have to step it up a little more?
I don't think he has to step it up, man. I just think he's got to change one part of his game, because what he's done when he has the route he's looking for is perfect. He's putting them in the breadbasket, and his throws are money. His issue is not that he's making bad throws. His issue is his decision-making, which you can't expect perfect decision-making from a 16, 17-year-old quarterback. It's just when he doesn't have the first route he's looking for, he doesn't have the ability yet to go look for a second, third, fourth route and then run. He just has the ability to kind of panic in the backfield if his first route isn't there, kind of freeze up, and instead of having a good run or a nice short drop-off pass, it's instead a sack or throwing the football away.
It's 10-0, so Noblesville's not in the big hole right now, but they're about to kick it away, send it to Zionsville, as Zionsville's looking to make something happen, trying to make this potentially a 3-score game. Noblesville trying to get the stop here. Kickoff about away. Nate Jones set to take the second half kickoff away to Zionsville. Should be a pretty interesting second half.
This is where you tell your defense to be as strong as possible. If your special teams can do something incredible here, that's great. Obviously, don't expect that. You have to tell your defense at this point to be strong, put together the best drive they have, everything they have, and then your offense will have their back.
Kickoff away and returnable, and he's got a huge hole, and just like that, the punter to beat, and he is going to take it the distance for the touchdown. 100 yards for Zionsville. Liam Salapka, and it's 16-0 and a snap beat.
Well, I mean, one side of the special teams did something special, that's for sure. It just wasn't the side of the special teams I expected it to be. You saw it from the start. It was Praise Oladipupo who had that hole, and it was a perfect block. There was a perfect block on Oladipupo to just shove him to the side. From there, it's off to the races. He only had Nate Jones to beat. Jones had a good angle on a tackle. He just couldn't make the execution.
That may have broken the game open. Around 100 yards for Liam Salepka, the senior wide receiver returner, 5'9". Not the biggest guy, but a great play as the extra point pending for Sam Black. That's got to be a crusher for Noblesville on the first play of the second half. And like what I was saying, it's going to be interesting. That's quite the interesting way to start a second half, as the kick around right here is Black. Gets it through, 17-0.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just a huge difference. You have Hutchins and group come out. I guess the one positive is you only lost 13 seconds. There's laundry here. We'll see what this is. What I was saying is the only positive here maybe for Noblesville is that you only lost 13 seconds off the clock, but there's such a difference between a touchdown, a field goal, and 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That's the difference between 10 points and 17 points, and that hurts, especially for an offense that's only gone past their midfield stripe once and has got 0 points on the scoreboard.
And like what you said, the defense has been playing spectacular today. Yeah. The defense has been able to stop them, especially when they get into Noblesville territory. But a kickoff to start out the second half, it's got to hurt Noblesville a little bit. They're going to try to get out there. They're going to try to build what they want to build. They haven't built anything yet, really, on offense. But 17-0 in a snap beat, 13 seconds into the second half, it's got to hurt a lot. And from here, Noblesville is just going to have to try to play better offense.
Yeah, the offense needs to step up, man. The defense has done their part. And the fact that you don't get your defense on the field for such a critical drive, you let it happen in special teams and they return it the full 100 yards. Instead of the defense being able to make a stop, your special teams falling apart and not giving your defense a chance. And now you have this kickoff from Noblesville's side of the field after the Noblesville dead ball foul. It's just a bunch of things coming together, and none of it's really solid.
And again, that penalty hurt them. That penalty really hurt Noblesville. Now they're kicking off from their own territory, so 2 mistakes to start out this second half as Noblesville is ready to take this kick return. It's the same 2 people as always back in the backfield, Cody Prater and Ethan Clark. We haven't seen a lot from passing today from Cody Prater, who's been primarily really good for Noblesville. This kickoff bout away for Sam Black, who's been impressive today on the kickoffs and everything.
Yeah, on those kickoffs, he's got a big leg.
A lot of people making noises in the crowds. They're shooting shirts. It's a pretty fun time, regardless of the score. Student section trying to be one of the best in the state. The fans outside the student section,
they're
doing what they got to do.
Man, it's awesome. I mean, half of me wants to go out there and see if I can catch one of those shirts. And I'll tell you personally, man, I was at the homecoming festivities before the school day ended. There was a little bit of a activity inside the school. They were shooting off shirts there, man. I caught a shirt. That was amazing.
You already caught one?
I caught a shirt, man.
Incredible.
I can't believe it, too. I mean, it was a perfect shot. And I was in the top section, too. Like, it was not an easy shot. It was perfectly into my chest.
Hey, can't say I've never caught a shirt in my life, so.
It's still awesome, though.
Yeah.
First time I've done it.
Absolutely. As we're back here from the 20-yard line, Hutchins trying to make something happen here. Going to hand it off quickly to Clark. And Clark is going to get bulldozed immediately. And a gain of basically nothing.
Yeah, run play on first down. That's what they've done every single first down, and they haven't had many of them either. They only have, I believe, a pair of first downs in the first half. They forced Zionsville to punt a few times and off the kickoffs. I mean, it's just been run, pass every single time, and I would bet a good amount of money that this is also a rush.
Pretty sure that was Anders once again on the tackle. Yeah, he's been pretty good today, to say the least. So back in the 2nd and 10 with no gain. Hutchins going to throw to the right side, intercepted. This is going to be a pick 6 for Finnessy. An absolute disaster for Noblesville. And pandemonium for Zionsville. It's 23-0.
Well, there's Hutchins' decision-making. That one, that's not what I thought, man. I mean, he had his first route, what he thought was open. It turned out it wasn't. There was his own coverage, and it was just a perfect route jump from Hank Finney, man. His second interception of the day, obviously he knows what he's doing. Hutchins' third pick he's thrown, and it's just been a struggle bus of a day. When Hutchins thought he had his first route, he didn't. Finney jumped it, pick 6, and we are a minute into the second half, and that's more points than Zionsville scored in the first half. The defense hasn't even touched the field.
I was just about to say that. 1 minute and 2 seconds, a pick 6 from Finney, and a kickoff return from Salapska. The extra point is up. It is good. It is 24-0, and this may be a hole you cannot get out of.
Yeah, I mean, 10-0 was a hole you could easily get out of. 17-0 was daunting. 24-0 may be impossible. It's just kind of a scale, man. You've gone from the point where we have an easy chance to come back if we make the right decisions in the locker room and on the field. 17-0 is daunting, but you have a chance. 24-0. You're not throwing in the towels. You still have 23 minutes. You still have plenty of time, but it's going to be really difficult.
Yeah, these two teams, again, have always had close matchups. Last year, 35-28 in favor of Zionsville, out in Zionsville, as the Millers are on the road. And a couple years ago, Noblesville beat them a couple hand times here on homecoming night. And then in the sectionals, 31-24. But today, it's just looking like a completely different story. And it may just be too hard for Noblesville to get out of. But there's still 10:58 left here in this third quarter. And still around 23 minutes remaining. But it's not a lot you can ask for Noblesville. My apologies.
Well, this kickoff from their own 40 instead of from the other 45, it'll just make it easier. Noblesville's falling apart in the first minute, and they have to build this up brick by brick. They can't go for these deep balls and expect to just easily put it all back together like nothing ever happened. You have to come. You have to be okay with the fact that you just lost 14 points. Your defense hasn't touched the field.
So Prater ready to return it from the 2. Prater has a hole, and
There he
Cody
goes.
Prater to the 35-yard line. That's probably one of the biggest plays of the day for the Millers.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the kick return from Zionsville. That one, the lead-up looked pretty much the exact same. A huge hole opened up. It's just Zionsville stayed strong. They shut off their blocks instead of being shoved into a huge gap opening. It's the difference of those little things, and Noblesville's never really been able to do said little things, and they're struggling again at it this year. We'll see if anything changes.
And now you wonder for Zionsville, can they try to do it again? Finney has been really, really good, and Zionsville student section is feeling good right now, especially as we're back here on a 1st and 10 from the 35. Potentially the biggest play of the game was a return. They're going to hand it off to Ethan Clark, but again, wrapped immediately for Zionsville, and it's just been that story of the day.
Like I was saying, man, Noblesville has to come to being okay with the fact that they've lost 14 points on Zionsville, and their defense hasn't even touched the field. So what they need to do is bounce back, act like it never happened, stay the score still 0-0, even if they're way off from that, and see what they can do to change it up and get Zionsville on their heels.
High on the backfield for Noblesville
He's not going to get that
on a
snap
2nd and 9.
off. Delay game.
Delay of game or potential timeout here. It's going to go on Noblesville. It's going to be delay of game. You were right.
Yeah, I mean, the Millers are cold. Obviously, Hutchins threw the interception. The kick was returned, and I think the Millers football team is just shocked right now. I think they're just in a collective feeling of shock to the point where they are extremely cold, and they really can't move the football.
So Hutchins will take it himself. He's going to try to throw it high, and that could have been number 4.
That's
a
gonna be pass
flag on the
interference.
field. It could be pass interference, but that could have been intercepted by Anders, and Anders He's had a good game again. But this one looks like it's going toward Noblesville.
Yeah, Anders, the safety, was able to come over top, but Alwine had his right hand being held the entire time. The corner there holding his hand was number 12, Brady Young. And it was just the issue not of Alwine not being able to get open. It was the illegal play being made, and Alwine not having any space to either be able to get to the football or run after the catch anyway.
My apologies. That was Gabriel Vinatieri who got the pass interference, not Anders. Kind of looked like the 34 was a 39, but it was Vinatieri on the flag on the coverage too. So back at it from the 41. It's Hutchins. He's going to throw it again, and Hutchins. He's escaping a sack, but Hutchins going to scramble to the left side, tackled once again. And that is the first time today we've seen from Brody Ashleyman. He's been one of Zionsville's better players on defense. He's had a pretty sensational year. Quite a sensational year. 17 solo tackles and 22 total. He had 4 last week in that loss against Franklin Central. And again, a 3rd and 3.
Hutchins is showing growth after that last play. Instead of panicking after losing his first route, he decides to put 2 hands on the ball and run with it. He gets about half back.
To the right for Noblesville. Ocean man is Morris, and they're bringing a huge blitz, missing the block, and he's going to go down. He's tackled very awkwardly, almost like slamming him to the ground. You wonder if Hutchins is okay. He may not be.
He's not okay. His helmet's off. He's not okay.
On the sack was Peter Monahan. He got wrestled there. He got absolutely.
Yeah, that just
slammed.
felt unnecessary. I mean, you had the sack, and then you pick him up and throw him to the ground. I just didn't think that was necessary. You easily had it. He wasn't going to get out. You had 2 arms around him, and then you just heave him to the ground. I mean, it's not the type of game to be doing that, man. That's just not a sportsmanlike play. I'm surprised no flags were thrown. But even with that, you have an injured quarterback for the Millers, who's now up and walking. But you have an injured player for the Millers. And in a game that's already a huge difference, that's just not a sportsmanlike play.
So most likely that's going to bring out Woody Corey II, who's a sophomore, the lefty. Had a touchdown against Mount Vernon in that 21-6 victory. Looking to make his point.
The thing with Woody Corey is that touchdown did not come against the first team. The score was 14-0 at that point. It was late in the 4th quarter, and for some reason Mount Vernon was not making the charge. They were instead playing their second team. So Corey hasn't seen a first team yet, especially with a 6A team going up against them.
But the punt away, we'll see Corey in a little bit. If he's okay, but it's on the return, Salapka, and from the 28 will come Zionsville. We'll be back in a couple moments here after Zionsville takes the field. Now it's quite a quick, short little segment of a timeout. Coming back out is Eli Showalter on their first drive because of the kickoff return for Zionsville. They look to just keep it going at this point, trying to show Noblesville no mercy. Hand it off and passing it. It is on the right side, staying in bounds. Once again, there's a flag on the field.
He's gone, but there's a flag.
And he may take it the distance again. A touchdown for Zionsville. That's 3 plays and 3 scores. That's 21. It may be coming back. It will. But what a sensational play by Schott.
Yeah, it was a great play. I mean, he ran down the sideline. He outpaced him, which was really impressive. He had 3 Millers. You'd think one of them would catch up to him, and nobody ended up doing such. It was just, it seemed a little bit too good to be true, and it was.
Noblesville gets a huge break there. That would have been around a 70-yard touchdown off of a screen play. Noblesville's defense has been quite fun today, but those screenplays are killers mentally, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Noblesville's only given up 10 points, and the fact that was a 70-yard touchdown, even the flag makes it actually a loss, and it become 1st and 20. The Millers have a lot left to be wanted after that last play. You know they're going to have to make a mental adjustment, and you know they're also gassed physically.
Absolutely. As the ball gets moved back a couple of yards. But we're only around a little under 4 minutes in this quarter. It's felt like an eternity for the Millers. It's not been the best performance, of course. Showalter trying to make more magic happen for the Zionsville team to try to get to 2 and 3.
Yeah, Noblesville's got to wonder what went wrong, right? Because they were this close. I mean, they're the one big touchdown, the one big pick six, and the one big kickoff return. Those three things don't happen. If they don't give up 3 big plays, boom, 3-0. And Noblesville has the ball with a lot more momentum. They probably have some points on the board too. So it's seriously 3 big plays for Zionsville away from not being 24-0 Zionsville, instead being, say, 3-0 Zionsville, or the Millers have the lead. It's just that close, and that's ought to hurt the Millers quite a bit.
Looks like on the field we have a little bit of a interruption from the officials. The Zionsville team has looked quite great today, especially in a loss against Franklin Central last week where they lost 20-16. They lost their starting quarterback as well, Kledzik, who has had a pretty good season, and he might be out for the entire season now. And Showalter's come out here today, and he's been quite amazing for Zionsville.
He's got it done, man. He's been so calm under pressure, and just to find his guys as well. I mean, it's not like he's getting all the blocking that you could possibly get. He's having to roll out and find a guy. He's having to make throws on the run. He's not just being a pocket presence. His job is hard, and he's just making it look easy.
Could be the potential knockout punch for Zionsville if anything else goes wrong for the Millers. On a 1st and 15 from the 22-yard line. Looked like they jumped early. It's going to hand it off to Brown again, and Brown's going to get wrapped up around the 26, 27-yard line. Pretty much getting the yardage back.
Yeah, he got back to the line, so it's just going to be the same thing as if it was an incomplete pass on that first down play. Noblesville's got to be feeling it. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, that's no help. They're tired after the big gainer. They got a chance to catch their breath when the officials were a little bit confused about the yardage. But Noblesville's defense has nothing to be mad about. It's just failed around them.
And the throw from Showalter is a little bit to the left, intended for Max Metler, who's had a pretty decent day today for Zionsville. As Showalter has been giving it to everybody tonight, and it's really worked out.
Yeah, he's been spreading the love. He's been spreading the rock quite a bit. It's been a steady mix of runs and passes, though it's been more passes than usual for these Zionsville guys.
It could be a big third down stop here for Noblesville. Again, the third down defense hasn't been the best today, as Showalter has been able to pass it to many players. We'll see here from the 27-yard line. Showalter, he's got time, but he's going to get sacked right away. And great play there by Anthony Gomez-Sanchez.
Yeah, Anthony Gomez-Sanchez there he came off a block. It was not a big loss. In fact, it was a little bit of a gain, I believe, maybe right back at the line. Anthony Gomez-Sanchez was really not there to get the sack. He shed off a block as soon as he saw that a run was coming out of the backfield, and he was able to lay a huge hit, by the way, and make sure there was no chance of any long run.
So the man with 2 picks is the punter, Hank Finnessy, out there to take it away for Zionsville. And it's a pretty good punt, returnable by Clark from the 43. And Clark dodging tackles to midfield and wrapped up around the 49, I'd say.
Would you say that's a good game, Jordan? 2 interceptions, a pick 6. He laid down a great punt, and he's got extra points.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good game from someone who, again, got the pick 6, got an interception early. He might be one of the players of the game.
Yeah, I'd take it. I'd take a game like that. I don't know about you. Obviously, he's going to be wanting more, obviously, if he's any sort of a competitor, which there's no question that he is with the type of game he's had. Zionsville does not seem like they want to calm down anytime soon.
So Hutchins is good and ready to get back out there. He's going to hand it off to Clark. He's slammed down immediately. Brody Ashleyman, that's his second tackle of the game. Big one.
The Millers have not yet crossed midfield in this drive, and if they do, it'll be only the second time all game they do such with the offense on the field. They have not yet entered the red zone. They have not yet altered their score on the scoreboard. 2.5 quarters in, the Millers have so much left to be wanting.
Hutchins going to hand it off to Clark again, and he's going to get taken down. And on the tackle, Jackson at it again.
Is Schinkel all right there?
It was
seems okay.
Schinkel, my apologies. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long again.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 phases of the Noblesville football team today has a little bit left to be wanting, but is really just 1 or maybe 2 big plays away. I mean, the defense gave up that big 50-yard touchdown. The special teams gave up the kick return, and the offense gave up the pick 6. All three sides of the football want something left to be wanting, but you still have a chance. Timeout, Noblesville.
And Noblesville taking the timeout right there. Just didn't know what they were going to do. We'll be back in a couple moments. As we welcome you back to Beaver Stadium in Noblesville, Indiana. It's been quite a long day for the Millers. They're looking to just try to get this 3rd down, try to move it down the field, try to get some points. So motion man Prater to the left side, back in the I formation. Prater back into motion. And a play action, scrambling to the left. Hutchins going to throw, and a completion to Alwine, and Alwine tackled around the 21. And again, another great gain from Alwine. A pretty good day for him.
I mean, that could definitely be some momentum for the Millers for sure. That was more of a moss than anything. Alwine just went up with his huge stature and got a heck of a ball that should not have been caught by anyone but the defense, really. And he turned it into a huge yards after the catch as well, and now the Millers are a foot away from entering the red zone for the first time all game.
It's been one of the best players of the day for the offense for the Millers. Handed off to Heil, and Heil, it's a pretty good game, but tackled really quickly there. That was Vinatieri.
The Millers are officially in the red zone for the first time, which obviously has got to give them some momentum. The big issue is you have 16 minutes left on the clock. You have 24 points you have to amount on the scoreboard, and you have to do it quickly. That's 3 touchdowns and a field goal, or 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions.
Going to hand it off again to Heil, but this time he gets swarmed up by a bunch of white, gray, and green. Bring up a 3rd down.
I think if the Millers get into this end zone, it'll definitely be a momentum booster. It'll be really interesting to see if the Millers get into the end zone, what they decide to do, if they decide to go 2-point conversion or just kick the extra point.
I think you got to go 2-point here.
That's a fair assumption. It'll be interesting to see if the Millers think they can do 4 scoring drives, or do they think they can only get 3.
So Hutchins losing the snap, and he's going to get tackled around the 13, 12 maybe. And once again, in the same territory, it's 4th down for the Millers, and it's decision time.
Yeah, this just feels like an easy go-for-it type of situation. You're down 24 later in the 3rd quarter. 3 points, I mean, it helps you, but how much does it help you? You need 3 touchdowns. You can't use your field goal up now.
Noblesville needs the 10-yard line to keep this drive moving. It's easily been the best drive of the day for the Millers. Will it categorize in points? On a 4th and 4, it's going to keep it. Throw to Morris, and Morris, I think, may just be a yard short, and that's how a good drive comes to a close. Zionsville takes over. So after the turnover, I must say, Tyler, how do you feel about what Noblesville brought out there, especially on that drive, even though it didn't end in points?
I mean, it was definitely something new, right? And it was one big play, got the majority of the yards, and they got stuffed on 4th. You can't be too positive if you don't score. But the fact is, that's a shine of offense that we haven't seen all game. And to get that going at any point is still nice. You just wish they maybe did that a little bit earlier and a little bit more consistently.
Coy's back in the backfield, going to hand it off to him. It's a sophomore again, a speedy sophomore, but gets nothing there, maybe losing a yard on a pretty good defensive stop there for Noblesville.
Noblesville's defense has been stout today. It's been a great combination. Ham and Tiwa have been through the defensive line, getting stops up front, and when they let him free, Marcus Burns is getting swats like crazy. The secondary is doing really well. The defense has only given up one big play, 2 red zone drives, 3 points total in those red zone drives. They have turnovers. They have everything going their way. This game should be a Noblesville win, and it's just been struggles.
Showalter just throwing it a little high, intended for Morris. That could have potentially been a 90-yard touchdown if he placed that perfectly.
Burns is hurt. Marcus Burns is on the sideline hurt. He was on coverage for that play, and now he can't move his legs. It's probably just cramp, but you hope it's just a cramp.
It looks like he's hurting, unfortunately, really badly down there. So we'll take a break real quick. My apologies. Going to throw it to the right side, complete to Morris.
Flag. The offensive line was way far down the field. This will be on Zionsville. This will be declined.
Absolutely. Over 2 minutes remaining. Zionsville has had quite a great quarter. Had the pick 6. Had the kickoff return 100 yards. Noblesville had a good drive ending in no points, but Zionsville feeling confident out there. Almost ready to get to 2 and 3.
Yeah, and it hurts for Noblesville, who was so close, and seemed like they really made good adjustments. They had a great drive. They had a good defensive stop right there. It's just a couple of things that are harder to control, slipping through their fingers, changes from a 10-0 game to a 24-0 game. Marcus Burns just got up, which is really good, but he's not stepping on that right leg.
So we got attendance numbers here in Beaver Stadium. And Tyler, do you want to guess what it is?
I have no clue. I mean, homecoming, I've got to put in a high guess, right? I'd have to say the student section's not missing a seat. Most sections aren't missing a seat. The Zionsville hasn't shown out too incredibly well. The highest we've seen so far this year is above 4,000, and I'm going to stop yapping and just put in a guess. Hedge my bets, 4,500 people today.
Well, you would have been right if you had 1,000 more. We have 5,500 today.
Wow.
It's quite a packed house here at Beaver Stadium.
I guess homecoming will do that, man.
It's quite a great week for the Millers, you know. Homecoming tomorrow. That's going to be fun. I'll be there. It'll be pretty fun. The parade this afternoon was pretty impressive.
Impressive show out, man. Noblesville's behind their sports teams and behind their clubs and behind their high school. They really love all this.
Once again, from the 50-yard line, Hutchins. He's got time, but Hutchins going to roll to the right side. He's going to get hit really hard. And once again, no flags, and he's hurt again.
No wonder he's hurt, man. I mean, you jump out of your seat, man. That hurt.
I think that's 3 of them today that have really hurt for Noblesville and no flags. It is football at the end of the day, but like a little excessive.
Yeah, it was Brody Eschelman. I think that's his second one of those big excessive hits. It's not too late to be an obvious roughing the passer, and if it's not obvious, they're not going to call it at this level. It just sucks to see Windsor rolling out and putting in a good ball and it's just getting absolutely drilled, and there's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing you can really complain about.
Hasselman's had quite a good day. Handing off, getting nothing there for Noblesville. It's going to be 3rd and 10 again. It's just been that type of night.
Yeah, it really has. It's just been a bunch of stuffs. Noblesville right at midfield. They're going to cross their midfield line for just the 3rd time. It's almost the 4th quarter, and it's their 2nd time in the 3rd quarter. So, I mean, their offense has been showing more signs of success lately, though even this field position is more controlled by their defense than anything.
So Schinkel in the backfield for Noblesville on a 3rd and 10. Looking to make something happen. 70 seconds away from the end of the 3rd quarter. Going to hand it off to Clark, and Clark gets tackled.
Flag. This looks like it's going to be on number 75. The O-lineman, Caleb Johnson, was pushing around way too much. Caleb Johnson's usually a great kid, but he made a mistake there.
If you're Zionsville, do you decline that? Because that was 3rd and 10. Looks like they may, because Noblesville's moving back, they may just allow them to do 3rd and 20. Because in that situation, and they will decline the penalty, in that situation, you may have to go for it on a 4th and short. 4th and 20 and 4th and 7 are completely different.
Well, the offense is still out there. This football is placed at the same spot it was because the penalty was declined. This is a 4th and medium. The Millers have no reason not to go for this. They need to get back in this game. I guess that's how they do it.
And from the 46-yard line, under a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter, it's been something to forget, but they're trying to make it something to remember here. Trying to get points on the board.
I think you got to go way past the 1st down marker here.
Hutchins going to play action. He gets hit again.
Caught.
And it's complete. A good completion out to the right side. It's caught by Clark.
Hutchins
keeping the chains moving.
Hutchins is shooken up again, man. Rolls out. There's always one guy coming at him. He gets the thrown out, and he just has to eat one. And it hurts to see Hutchins continuously having to eat hits, but that's what you have to do as a quarterback.
Absolutely. Noblesville just trying to keep this drive moving again. One of their better drives of the day. And I don't know if they need to snap it here. They may. But on a 1st and 10 for Hutchins. We'll snap it, handing it off. Into around the 31-yard line, 32-yard line. That will pretty much wrap up the 3rd quarter. It's been quite impressive from Zionsville today.
Yeah, the 3rd quarter right at the very start. And, I mean, this was Noblesville's quarter for 11 minutes. It was just the fact that Noblesville didn't put up any points, and Zionsville put up 14 points in the 1st minute. So the scoreboard reflects that was all Zionsville that quarter, but really it wasn't. It was pretty break-even, even Noblesville's quarter. And it was just a terrible 1st minute of the 2nd half, taking it from a very competitive game to really just a hope anything good happens for Noblesville.
So, as the 3rd quarter has come to an end, Tyler, I must say, I got to know some of these scores out in Indiana. You know, we got to do this every single week because Indiana high school football can be quite entertaining.
And I don't blame you, man. You want a bombshell?
Absolutely.
How about number 1 Brownsburg, who will be the only other team Noblesville plays at home this year. It'll be our last commentary of the regular season. 42 points on number 5 Fisher's Head. 42-14 in the 3rd quarter. How do you like that one?
Incredible. I wasn't expecting that. Fishers came into Noblesville, and they had a pretty stellar performance, winning 42-17. But Brownsburg they're for real. They've always been for real. I mean, Noblesville's given them really good competition in the last couple of years. But that's something I'm a little shocked of. You would think it's closer because Fishers is a good team. Brownsburg's just a different level.
Reigning state champions, man. It's really surprising that this is happening, but it's gone on and happened between 2 top 5 teams.
So direct snap and tackled right at the line of scrimmage to the 35-yard line. It was Noah Schinkel on that direct snap. We got to get more of those Indiana scores during this fourth quarter.
That was their fourth down play there. They ran it on second, maybe to confuse coming out of Wildcat formation. But they never do anything in that fourth down play that isn't running up the gut and see what they can get. And Zionsville's defense was ready for that.
3rd and 8, it looks like they're in the same formation. They don't have a quarterback out there. It's Schinkel again. Quite interesting. Schinkel's going to run it to the left side. He's going to get wrapped up by a couple of Zionsville Eagles. As Jackson adds it again. I'll bring up a 4th down, but a flag.
That was just another play that was pretty stuffed, and he just found a way to extend it. And it was a free play anyway. It was offsides. The fact that he was able to extend it on a Wildcat formation there was really impressive. And it turns into a first down for Noblesville. And Noblesville can continue to extend this like they've done the last couple drives. This could be really impressive.
It's Kincaid and Oladipupo from the defense coming out to play for the offense on that little Wildcat formation. But now 1st and 10 via the offsides for Zionsville. Now Noblesville at the 24-yard line. Motion man is Alwine. In the backfield, once again, is Schinkel. It's 2 more men to the right side. He's going to hand it off to Schinkel again. And Schinkel getting a couple of yards, good amount.
There is a flag.
Another flag. The tackle was from
There might be
Brody
an injured
Ashelman.
Eagle as well. That's number 11, Nate Foster, hobbling around.
Drive looking pretty good here, though, for Noblesville.
Yeah, it has looked quite impressive so far to see them jump back from a really slow first half. They might be able to put up some points. It's about that time of night where the games that may have been low scoring or had a running clock at the end are finishing up. How about a game with a running clock? Eastbrook, one of the better Indiana high school teams that's not in the 6A division, going up against Blackford. It's 4-0 versus 0-4. And yeah, that game's ended with a final score of Eastbrook 70, Blackford 6.
That's what you love about high school football. You always get those interesting scores. You may get some close games. You may get some games that are a little out of reach, maybe should have stopped it early.
Yeah, not quite. Hey, let's go back to the HCC real fast. Hoosiers Crossroads Conference. Stop looking at my phone, Jordan. You're not getting any of these scores till I tell you.
Of course.
2 more top 10 teams. Number 7 Westfield had a very difficult environment. Number 9 Hamilton Southeastern go into. This game's in the fourth quarter. 9 minutes left. Westfield has just scored to make it 21-17.
And on the handoff to Prater, he gets around good amount there to the 23-yard line. And now it's 4th down for Noblesville, and they got to do something. It's 3rd down, my apologies.
You want the biggest blowout in the state of Indiana right now?
For sure.
These 2 schools that have just finished up, or at least deep into the fourth quarter. The score changed very recently to have Cascade High School. Here goes Schinkel.
With the hole, and Schinkel going goal to go. They called it dead. Trying to get the fumble there for the Zionsville Eagles. It's Brady Jung. But now it's 1st and goal for Noblesville, and you like to see that. I apologize for interrupting that.
No, not at all. That was a great play. Yeah, the biggest blowout in the state of Indiana right now. Let's start off with Frankfurt High School has 0 points. You know how? Just take a gander at how many Cascade has right now.
Say like 65.
How about 70?
70. A little. Give about 5 more.
Not a bad guess at all. Not a bad guess at all.
Gonna hand it off to Schinkel again. He's gonna drive himself to the 3-yard line. Noblesville yards away from the first points tonight. They need him.
Yeah, they need him really bad, and if it's starting to get a little bit too late, it's going to start closing in really quickly to the point where it's going to be really, really, really difficult, maybe even impossible to come back from this one. But at this point, it's still more than possible if they can put up these 7 points.
They're going to hand off to Schinkel again, and Schinkel's going to get hit just short.
Maybe an inch short, not much at all.
Around a yard. Now bring up a 3rd and goal.
Late flag right in the middle of that pile. Well, Jordan, there is one more HCC game we haven't gone over. It's Franklin Central visiting Avon, going way down south. Avon, maybe the shock of the HCC this year. You didn't expect their football team to be good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Now they're one of the top in the state. They are doing it again. Avon 28, Franklin Central 10.
Pretty incredible stuff from Avon this season. Yes, they had that loss against HSC, but other than that, they've looked quite impressive and will be scary come tournament time.
I mean, we'll see if they get paired up in sectionals. They're not in the same sectional as Noblesville. They're in a sectional much further south on the south side of Indianapolis instead of the north side. And they've just been able to really bulldoze through teams not named HSE.
But back in action on a 3rd and goal. Hutchins going to hand off to Schinkel, and he's in for the touchdown. And the first points tonight for the Millers. And we got ourselves a light show here in Beaver Stadium.
Well, get the light show going. They're going to kick the extra point, keep this a 3-score game. But to tell you what, to get points on the scoreboard feels really good. And with 8 minutes left, 17 points, difficult, not impossible.
You know, if they're not going for 2, I mean, that could make it a 2-possession game. Do you wonder if they're going to even try to do the onside kick?
I think at this point, I wouldn't go for the onside kick quite yet. I mean, your defense has been so trustworthy as Lytle makes it 24-7. Your defense has been so trustworthy. I think they can cause Zionsville to go out quickly if they just stay strong. Noblesville's offense has looked really impressive lately. They can get something going. They have the momentum.
And Noblesville's been driving all day, I feel like, in the second half. Wasn't a lot in the first half, so I wouldn't say all day from my standpoint. But in the second half, they've played pretty good ball. It was just unfortunate at the start of the half. Zionsville had the 100-yard kickoff return, had the pick 6, because this could be 13-7 right now potentially, maybe even 10-7, because Noblesville's defense has been quite spectacular in the second half.
And of course, you're going to have mistakes. There's no such thing as a perfect football game. But to say that they are this close to it being a really close game or even a Noblesville lead is not an understatement in any way, shape, or form. That's something that really could, maybe even should, be happening. You're this close. You're the pick 6. You're the 50-yard touchdown. You're the kick return away. I'm not saying you're going to be able to prevent all 3, and obviously something else could happen if that didn't happen. But, man, that's awfully close.
And it kind of hurts Noblesville, too, because they had it. They had them within 10 at halftime, but now still in a big hole. Looks like they will go for the onside kick. I don't know about the decision of going for the extra point.
Zionsville's hands team is ready for it. We'll see on this one. Their first onside kick of the year.
Away. It's really strong, and it
just
goes out of bounds.
Oh, Noblesville had it. It skipped right over the last man on the Zionsville hands team. That was number 22, Troy Clemmer. He's one of the defensive backs, and he was the very last guy there. If they had somebody behind him ready to get on the football, this could very well be Noblesville ball.
If Jones had a little bit of a soft touch on it, it was a little bit of a hard kick, but again, onside kicks are really hard.
Of course.
But if he had a little bit of a soft touch, that could be, like what you said, Noblesville football. But instead, we'll be going back to Zionsville, and from the 49-yard line, you would expect them to probably just run the ball and try to take time off.
You're really putting a lot of trust in your defense. It's a 17-point game, 8 minutes left. You can't be using your timeouts just yet, but you have to trust that your defense is going to be able to stop Zionsville here quickly.
Showalter, he's going to throw it anyways, but it's incomplete. Almost had his intended target, Micah Morris, who's had a pretty good day today.
Yeah, that's a mistake, I think, from Zionsville. You have the big lead. It's in the fourth quarter. You just got to run this clock out. If you pass the ball, you better be 1,000% sure this is going to be a completion, and they didn't catch it. So this clock is stopped. It's 2nd and 10, and they only lost a few seconds.
If they keep on doing that, Noblesville gets this ball back, and their offense is kind of hot right now, red hot. Could get closer and closer, but again, there's 9 minutes remaining. It is a 3-possession game. It is pretty far. It would be really hard to come back from this. But back at the action. Showalter's going to throw it again. It's caught to the right side and dodging a tackle, getting to the 43-yard line. That is shot.
Yeah, shot is short there. Theo's shot made one man miss. If they could have gotten that open field tackle, this would be so much different, so much easier. They're this close, man, to having a 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2 be a 2nd and 9. Or should I say a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 be a 3rd and 9. They are back in the spot up a little bit, right at midfield. Maybe
a flag.
He stepped out of bounds or a flag. I don't think, yeah. They're backing it way up. I didn't see a flag on the field, but this is going to be a flag.
After a good play, it was a screen pass, and that's going to probably stop the time, too. It's
That will
going to
stop
hurt
the time.
Zionsville.
I assume an offensive lineman found himself too far down the field when they threw that ball.
Good old ineligible man downfield.
Always nice for the defense to get bailed out like that.
Absolutely. It's 2nd and 19 now from Zionsville's 40. If I were them,
Clock will run.
they
and
will
they're-
throw it anyways. It's Showalter and throwing it a little high. Looks like there will be a flag.
late, but that is the correct call, I think. DJ Collier did not look at the ball at all. It was just a push over. He just shoved the wide receiver, DJ Collier.
Too much defense.
I think they're picking this flag up, Jordan. It looks like they're staying put.
It was interesting. It was a little hard to see from our angle.
No, they are going to call this pass interference. Yeah, DJ Collier did not look at the football at all. He was only looking at the receiver, and that's already a dangerous enough game. He laid any hands on him, and that's just the way that you're going to eat a pass interference. So now it's gone from 2nd and a long way to go to 2nd and short.
That 15-yard penalty puts Zionsville back into Noblesville territory. It's been quite a day from Showalter.
Yeah, that one's
Coy
going
in
to
the
sting.
backfield. Motion man shot going to the left side on the block, and I hand it off to Coy, and Coy has a hole. That is Coy again, and Coy staying in bounds.
Look at Collier.
Speedy sophomore.
Collier's in a fight here. This might be ugly. Flag late. Yep, this is going to be a late hit. DJ Collier just messed up again.
Hate to see that for Noblesville, but
DJ Collier, that's 2 straight terrible plays from him. That is not good. That's anger from a 17-point game, and more than anything, that's just a young player making mistakes.
Tackle made by 47 Alex Ham. There's a flag on the play.
it was Alex Ham again on the tackle. He's had a
Collier.
really spectacular day for Noblesville on defense, and the defense has been playing good.
Collier's
just-
getting a talking to over there.
Just the little things have put Zionsville just ahead.
Yeah. And it's been this close for most of the game. It's just been a mistake here and a big play there. It's just been unfortunate that none of those have gone Noblesville's way, really.
Dead ball personal foul on Noblesville. Half the distance takes the ball to
It's been quite a long day for the Millers.
first and goal.
They're looking potentially at 1-4 after that Week 1 win against Mount Vernon on the road. They've played 3 home games. That loss to Homestead kind of hurt. What are your feelings going into next week?
You got Brownsburg, man, and it's been a struggle the last few weeks as here's a rollout towards the end zone. It'll be thrown away. Brownsburg just destroyed Fishers, and we saw what Fishers did to Noblesville. So the worry most definitely is, hey, I don't think we're ready for them or for Franklin Central in those next couple weeks. Though Franklin Central is a little bit weaker of an opponent, to see Zionsville is kind of on the same level as them, take a 3-score lead, trying to turn it into a 4-score lead here late, that could really just... And, of course, the big losses the last 3 weeks is not going to help your confidence.
2nd and goal, handing it off. Go again, and it's Coy into the end zone. In Zionsville, pretty much with the dagger in the heart.
Spencer Troy on a 9-yard touchdown run for Zionsville.
Well, I mean, that was just a hole opened up, and he found the end zone really easily. He only had to go through one hit, and he had all the momentum anyway. This game was competitive for the first half. The second half early just got it out of hand. These teams have been even ever since that first minute of the second half, and I feel like I've just been bringing that back up a lot.
So these two teams next week, again, Noblesville is going to play Franklin Central on the road. Zionsville will host HSC. That will be a little entertaining. I think Zionsville and HSC be quite a good game. HSC looking pretty good. We'll have to see.
Yeah, HSC is going to have a lot of momentum based off of how this game ends with Westfield, two top 10 teams in the state, and this game is ending really, really closely.
Let's get an update at Westfield.
Let's
versus
get you an
Hamilton
update as soon as I have it.
Well, it's been a pretty long night for Noblesville. It's been pretty sweet for Zionsville. They're going into next week against Hamilton Southeastern. Likewise with Fishers when we were calling that game. It's a good amount of confidence, you know. But Noblesville, they will play Franklin Central next week. We don't know how that game's going to go. But tonight, it's just not been the night.
Yeah, you go into the homecoming game with a lot of confidence because it's homecoming. You've had a lot of festivities that come with every single homecoming. You only get 4 of them. You have 5,500 people, as we said, in the park enjoying homecoming, as well as the football players psyched up themselves. You had the parade that you expected to get them going, and just after all of that, it's a shame that's a 24-point game.
Sam Black ready to get it kicked away again for Zionsville. We've seen him a lot today with that field goal to end the half. A couple kickoffs because of Zionsville touchdowns. 4 of them today. Back at the field, near around the 4-yard line. Once again, the same people. It's Prater and it's Clark. But with 8 minutes remaining, it might be out of stretch for Noblesville. But anything's possible. You never know. Anything's possible. So the kickoff away from Black, going to send it toward the way of Prater from the 2-yard line. And Prater's going to try to find a hole, but he gets tackled at the 18-yard line. And it's been that Zionsville's special teams and defense today.
Stuffed inside the 20, man. That one might be a killer more than most things, is to not even get it to touchback line, not even get it past the 20. It hurts.
So once again, Hutchins, who has taken a beating today with a lot of big hits, going back on the field, trying to get a little bit of help. Hiles back at the field. It's a little silent here in the Noblesville section. A lot of Zionsville students have left their student section. And a handoff away to Clark, and Clark getting to the 21, but that's it.
Yeah, short games have kind of been the name of the game for Noblesville. They decided to test Zionsville's so-called spectacular rush defense to no avail. They stood strong and kept their name of strong rush defense going.
What do you think Noblesville has to do to work on that offense going into next week? Because I feel like as we've watched this game, it's been a lot of run, pass, and I don't know what they can do to fix it going into next
Franklin
week.
Central is a similar team to Zionsville in the fact that they're not the best in their conference. They're not going to have the best player most games. And even if Noblesville is going to be the one on the bus taking the trip to Franklin Central, they have to remember what happened this week. They have to remember that this game was close and the scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story, and it was just a few mistakes away. And if you can just go in this week in the practice facilities and say, hey, we need to minimize these mistakes and get that done in training, I really think they're closer than a 31-7 game.
Absolutely, and that's really something they can work on, and it can very much be adjusted as a third down coming up, and the handoff moved backly and tackled right there from Nate Foster. It's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll punt it away.
Again on the carry, stopped by number 11, Nate Foster. Coming at 4th down.
Zionsville has HSC to go into next week, and they're going to be riding a high. They just took down a homecoming team by 24 points, maybe even more. We'll see if they show any mercy here in the last 6 minutes of this ballgame.
The punt's a little low, but it gets a good roll. It's going to go into Zionsville territory and hit the 39-yard line, so in all, not a bad punt. We'll bring back out Zionsville's offense with a little under halfway through this homecoming game.
Yeah, you assume Zionsville halfway through the fourth quarter here is going to just slow the clock down, and you assume Noblesville, knowing the score, is probably not going to take their timeouts. You assume these things. Of course, Coach Hebert is very competitive in the way that he plays 48 hard minutes, and you have to respect that if you're Zionsville. You're not going to be done with this football game until there's zeros on the clock. You can't just ride the high of leading by 3 scores for the entire fourth quarter.
So that will do it today from a spectacular performance by Showalter. It's going to bring out Zeke Marshall, and now they'll hand it off. Looks like Ham there, but on the tackle for Noblesville. A pretty good play by Jan Tuyoa. The handoff to Joseph Jefferson.
That Justin Jefferson?
Joseph Jefferson.
Oh, no wonder Zionsville's beating us by 24. They got Justin Jefferson on the field.
It is Joseph Jefferson with the carry, but Zeke Marshall in for a couple of plays during that second quarter after Showalter got hurt. But now it's time for them to probably just tick down this time.
Yeah, Noblesville's not calling the timeouts. They're just going to let the play clock go down to 1, snap this football. That is going to be a delay game. Zionsville got a little bit too greedy on the play clock there, but even if Noblesville does get this ball back and drives, this game is probably out of reach, and it's probably going to be not timeouts used by Coach Hebert. Probably at least not yet with 5 minutes left, maybe later.
Good amount of the student section from Noblesville's side has departed from Beaver Stadium. A couple people on the Zionsville side still staying, but most of them have departed too. It's been quite a long night for Noblesville. I've said that a couple times, but I just think going into Franklin Central next week, I mean, those little mistakes can get fixed. It's going to hurt them a little bit with confidence.
This clock is going to tick down. They'll snap this at 1 second. And Zionsville going into HSC just got a really helpful boost.
And Jefferson running to the right side, hitting around the 37-yard line, will bring up third down.
Yeah, like I said, Zionsville going into HSC, winning by this much against a team on their homecoming, that's a really, really, really helpful boost. And the fact that HSC is fighting with everything they have to even keep this a one-score game really late. It's 21-17, sub 1 minute. Westfield has it in the red zone. So that game is probably going to end up in a loss for HSC. And this game is probably going to end up in a win for Zionsville. So that double of maybe a slightly lesser team, but coming off a victory, going into a big house, but that team coming up a loss is big.
Marshall throwing it on the slant route intended for Nick Hoggs. Incomplete. Fourth down. Zionsville will punt it away. There will be no running clock for the Millers in this game. But if you're in Noblesville, the game almost feels as it's out of reach, and you may have to just want to run out the clock.
24 points, 4 minutes. It's really helpful reps to get the chance to have another possession with your starters, especially if HSC is going to bring out their number 2 defense. Almost blocked there.
Punt away, not returnable, but a good roll, an incredible roll on the punt, getting into the red zone around the 18-yard line. And with 3:42 remaining, I don't know what much more you can ask for Noblesville.
And it is official. HSC has lost their game to Westfield 21-17. So that's going to be a storyline in Zionsville this week. It's going to be Zionsville's coming off of a huge win, and HSC's coming off of a loss where they had a chance against one of the top teams. So HSC is going to be coming in probably feeling a little bit sorry for themselves, and Zionsville's going to come in all psyched after a huge victory. These two things can happen simultaneously as Noblesville's defense is coming back out onto the field. They might have roughed the punter.
That game is
No, they held him. Sorry.
That game is at Zionsville too, so it's going to be a loud house, absolutely, for the Eagles and HSC. They're pretty far. They may not bring a ton of people. You never know, but it's going to be feeling real loud for Zionsville.
HSC to Zionsville is a pretty far drive. It's across all of Fishers, it's across all of Noblesville, and it's across most of Zionsville.
Once again, Zionsville will punt this away.
After the holding, it's going to be way far back.
And that is Finnessy. He's had a pretty good game with everything. You could say he's probably been the player of the game this entire game.
2 interceptions, gotten some good punts off. He's made some kicks as well. And they roughed him. Flag comes out. No, they're going to actually pocket it.
Returnable from Donahoe, but to the 43-yard line. A lot of booing.
Yeah, Zionsville has something to say. Their punter was roughed there pretty well. The referee was about to throw a flag, and he pocketed it. With 3.5 minutes left, Noblesville is going to bring out their starters. HSC is going to bring out mostly second-team defense. This is just valuable reps. Because remember, next week it obviously starts 0-0 for Noblesville. And if they can get these reps in and get some momentum going into next week and going through their practices, that could definitely help.
Noblesville still has their starters out there. And with only 3:33 left, probably be their final drive of the day.
Yard line to be determined.
Probably run the clock, maybe do a couple passes, but it's been a run-heavy day. Not a lot of passes from Winter Hutchins.
And obviously you can't do too much. There's 3.5 minutes left. You don't want your players to get hurt, but you also want your players to get in those reps against an actual defense that's trying their absolute hardest and not just practice.
Hand it off to Clark, and Clark gets wrapped up all the way back. And on the tackle there, it's Liam McPike. It's just been that type of night again. I've said that a lot of times, but you could say it's true.
Yeah, it's been a long night. Noblesville fans have mostly found the stairs, and the few that have stayed are seeming to begin to leave and pack up now. This game really close after one half. You didn't expect it to end like this, and it just hurts that it did.
So the Shinkle gets wrapped up in a loss of 1 for Noblesville. And with under 3 minutes left, just sounds like they're just going to hand this ball off one more time.
Yeah, they went run. I assume run again. No 2-minute timeouts or warnings in high school football. You assume this will be nothing more than just run, and Zionsville will just kneel the clock out. This will be a handshake line soon enough.
On a 2nd and 16, rolling around, Hutchins throwing to the right side. It's complete, the outline to the 46, and that's it. Getting some of the yardage back. The 3rd and 9.
He caught it, but he got pushed out of bounds while going backwards, so the clock will not stop. It's under 2 minutes. The offense will stay out for their valuable reps, and no matter where Zionsville gets this ball, it'll just be kneel.
Looks like bringing 4. Hutchins going to throw it. A blitz coming. A screen pass to Shinkle, but he gets maybe 2 there. And now it's 4th down.
No, that was 4th down.
And they're just going to punt it away and probably call it a night in a very interesting game.
So, 4 valuable reps from Noblesville. And the fact is, those 4 reps are going to help, obviously, to get 4 extra plays against a defense that's trying their hardest and of the caliber of HCC level and of the caliber of their opponents they're going to play next week. It's helpful to get those reps But this will just be kneel, you assume. Maybe run plays, but probably nothing more than just letting the clock run. We'll see if Coach Hubert and Noblesville uses their timeouts or not.
Once again out there, Zeke Marshall. And I apologize, it was 4th down there. I thought it was 3rd. I was looking at the scoreboard, but either way, Marshall and a substitution coming up for Zionsville.
They're not in victory formation. This will just be run plays, it seems.
Tyler Julian. We'll just hand it off to Jefferson with a loss and pushing back Xavier Bond.
That was a great play by Brady Piggott getting into the backfield. Second team defense doing well. Really no one left in the crowd here on the Noblesville side. The Zionsville crowd is also depopulated quite a bit. If it was 5,500 at one point, I do believe that, but now it's probably trickled down to 1,000 maybe.
It's a good play there by Bond. Looks like they're just going to take this time down. So as this time tickles down and they snap this next play, what are your thoughts on today's performance, and not just today's performance, how today's performance can potentially affect next week?
Yeah, you see Coach Hebert and Noblesville not taking their timeouts, which did surprise me a little bit. You think they'd be more competitive, but they seem fed up with the performance today, as no timeouts will be used, no snap will have to be taken, and this will turn into a handshake line. This ball game is officially over, and it was a few mistakes away from being something really special for Noblesville and being a victory. And it was just not quite the level you wanted from Noblesville on a few plays, but really 31-7 should not have been the final score. I thought they earned a lot closer of a game, and it's unfortunate that that's how it ended.
So that will do it here from Beaver Stadium. Noblesville loses 31-7. They fall to 1-4 on the regular season, while Zionsville goes up 2-3. They'll play HSC next week. Noblesville will play against Franklin Central. And from Jordan Kohlmeyer, the man himself, Tyler Varvel, Augie Vint, Colin Howard, and Channing Brown, I sign off, and we say have a great weekend, have a great homecoming weekend, and we'll see you guys around next week for September 25th. And we thank Cutter, Bechtel, Derek as well. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys around. Have a good night.